time these two clubs got together. And you've been on both sides, so you felt it from both sides.
Yep. Yep. I know it was certainly, as you look at tonight's umpires behind the plate, Dave Phillips, the crew chief, Steve Palanmore at first, Dan Morrison at second, and Tim Scheida over third. But certainly one of the highlights of my career and one of the most fun times is whenever you teed it up against the Yankees in either park. Or in spring training, for that, as a matter of fact. It didn't really make any difference. There's always that intensity, that rivalry there.
Well, here we go with Tommy John on the mound. And Ellis Burks, the fine-looking young rookie center fielder, to lead it off here for the Red Sox. He's hitting at .257 with 12 home runs, 32 RBIs. Tommy John last Saturday, Yankees staked into a 3-0 lead. And it looked like Al Nipper wasn't going to be around very long. But the Red Sox came back and won the ball game by a score of 9-4. So it'll be Burks, Barrett, and Boggs for the Bostons against Tommy John. And the first pitch, ball one. Mike Pagliarulo playing in on the grass, just on the lip of the grass. Burks is not afraid to lay one down. Outside, 2-0.
What a fine-looking rookie. 22 years old, big power, good speed. Still has to learn a few things out there in the outfield as there is a stop. He's got time. Pags will pick it up and throw him out. Nice play by Pagliarulo.
Well, the danger playing in that close on the grass, but Pags was there to just knock that ball down and make the nice play.
That's what you got to do. You got to keep it somewhere in that vicinity so that you can recover. Made an easy play out of it.
Well, hit that hard. You get an idea how hard the ball was hit to throw Burks out by that much after having to grope and find the ball. So one man out. Marty Barrett will step in. Barrett's got his average up to .236. He really struggled in the early part of the year. A real bad April. His average up around 300 through most of May. Strike one. Yankees and the Red Sox, first of three here this evening at the stadium. Boston with a 5-game winning streak, and they got it started against the New York Yankees. It's going inside for a ball, 1-1.
We talked about it the next day as we did not do the game that Tommy was beaten at Fenway Park. A bit of an unlucky break for him because of the fact the night before, 4.5-hour ball game. Everybody was tired as that's fouled off left side. Everybody was tired when they got to the ballpark the next day for the afternoon game, and that's exactly what Tommy John does not need.
That's an interesting concept, which would make you think that Tommy John, most pitchers would have a better time with the
yeah, if you're talking about the 90, 92-mile-an-hour fastballs, look at the Red Sox coaches. Walt Reniak to first and Joe Morgan over third. But yeah, they were tired. They weren't greedy off of him. They weren't trying to pull the ball. They just went right with it, and consequently, they got him out of there.
And what a ball game that was on Friday night. 13 innings. Yankees wind up winning it. 2-2 pitch. And Barrett just got a little piece of that one, so he remains alive. And those numbers that Hawk related to you, 12 and 16 lifetime against the Red Sox. Marty Barrett at the plate. He was 3 for 13 last week, and in that series up in Boston. Lifetime a .247 hitter against the Yankees. Luke foul out of play. Crowd continues to file in on a Friday evening. Teams will go at it again tomorrow night, then again Sunday afternoon, and the Yankees go to Toronto for 3. I guess there are no such things as big games in the month of June, but the Yankees are playing some big games here in the month of June. Down low for a ball, 3-2.
A little bit paramount, but still significant.
On deck, Wade Boggs. could get better. Wade Boggs can. Full count pitch, fouled away. Wade Boggs has. One man out here on the top of the first. Barrett at the plate. And a full count pitch coming. Bounce foul. There's Oil Can Boyd in the dugout. Made his debut this week, and a very successful one. The healthy Boyd, Hurst pitching well, Clemens. And if the bullpen straightens themselves out, Red Sox right now 10.5 out. He could make some noise. Smashed left center field. Gary Ward is there to put it away. Barrett hit it hard, but Ward was right there. It's 2 men out. So at 2 men out, here's Wade Boggs. The 25-game hitting streak. His career high 28, and look at those numbers. 382. And yes, he can hit home runs. 11 of them thus far, 37 RBI. He's 8 for 14 in that series in Fenway last weekend. .352 lifetime hitter. Left field down the line. And it'll go out of play. Eastler giving chase, and the count 1-1.
Boggs right now has other players talking about him more than any time I have ever can recall.
Is it because he's hitting home runs?
Well, it's just for some reason, yeah. Before, that's a part of it. But before they said, well, he's you know, an outstanding hitter, blah, 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 and all the casual conversations you would expect about a guy who's about, 350 lifetime hitter. But this year, I mean, players on all clubs are talking about Boggs. Home runs, I do think everybody, all his peers know he had the ability to hit home runs if he chose to do so. They didn't think they thought his average would suffer, but he's hitting more home runs, plus his average has gone up.
It certainly has. Got the outside corner for a strike. 2-2.
And the big thing they're talking about right now, the most common used phrase is hitting machine. He's just a hitting machine. That's all. That's a pretty good pitch by TJ.
Back live. Next pitch. Take the flex off the bat. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Everybody always trying to find something wrong with whoever or whatever business they're in. Well, Boggs couldn't hit home runs. Well, he's shown everybody he can hit home runs.
Well, I think he's done more for the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids in this country. He's done more for Frank Perdue than anybody I can recall.
And a steady diet of chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Chicken man.
Yeah, boy.
1-2. Second, there's 3-2. Outside ball 4. So Boggs walks. First base runner for the Red Sox. And he goes through a whole regimen every day. Of when he eats, when he does his wind sprints, when he fields ground balls. Here's Jim Rice. Red Sox left fielder hitting a .263. Only those 4 home runs. 28 RBIs, 11 doubles. Still a threat.
Rice has always hit the ball well in Yankee Stadium. I remember when he first came into the league, every time that the Red Sox would come into New York, it didn't make any difference. He just went deep everywhere.
What a great career. Lifetime .328 hitter against the Yankees. 1-0. It takes certain players playing the game today and say he's going to, he's not going to. He'd get my vote for the Hall of Fame. Jim Rice. Put together some great numbers and some great seasons for the Boston Ball Club. Here's the ball, 2-0.
Well, I believe in the last decade, last 10 years, I should say, he's driven in more runs than any player. And he's right up there in home runs, total bases, every power category that you can bring up. Rice is either leading it or right there at the top of it. Really? He has changed his stroke. His stroke right now is not anything like it used to be, though. For the most part, it's almost like Jimmy is disdaining home runs and just trying to go to the opposite field.
Strike.
I know that we in the Sunday ball game from Fenway Park, he got a hanger and he inside out of it. 2 years ago, you make a mistake to him, and especially with a hanger, and it was out of there.
Takes this one into right field for a base hit. Boggs will hold at second. And Rice is on with a single to right. Lifetime .303 hitter, Jim Rice. And the Red Sox with 2 men out, trying to put something together here. A walk to Boggs and the base hit by Rice, who just went with this pitch.
Well, you see the left elbow. Save that one right there. We'll maybe run that one back again because there was a good shot of the high left elbow. The higher that left, in Rice's case being a right-handed hitter, his lead elbow gets up in there, the less power you're going to have. And Jimmy always was a fellow who kept a low left arm through swing. That's why he generated such club head speed, or bat head speed, I should say. But now he's changed it a little bit. He's got a much higher left arm or lead arm through the swing than he's ever had.
He's not looking for the power as much, looking for the hits. Here's Don Baylor, 2 men out. Scoreless game, but the Red Sox threaten. First pitch, ball 1. Baylor hitting at .242, 7 doubles, 14 homers, 38 RBIs. 5 for 13 in that series at Fenway last weekend. Red Sox threatening. 2 men on, 2 men out. 2-0.
There are always exceptions to every rule, but you'll see throughout the course of the history of baseball, probably 99% power hitters have always had a low lead arm through the swing.
Pass Pagliarulo in the left field. Boggs will score, and the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead, all with 2 men out. Don Baylor singles home the game's initial run, and Boston has jumped out in front.
And it goes back to very, very close 2-2 pitch that Tommy John did not get from Wade Boggs. But there's Rice right there going the opposite field. And all of a sudden, boom, as you mentioned, Spence. And here's the base hit by Baylor to knock in Boggs. Pags did not get a real good jump on that ball.
And the Red Sox have the lead. All with 2 men out. And here's Dwight Evans. Billy Evans had a good season, a good series against the Yankees last weekend. 6 for 13. Lifetime only a .240 hitter against New York. Ball 1. Pitch comes up high.
As we stated in the first series, I think this is the most dangerous man, especially in the late innings on this ball club. And I don't care who's out on the mound.
And no sooner did you say it last Sunday, he hits the home run to win the ball game. A 2-run shot off Tewksbury. Mark Connor's going to go out to the mound to talk to Tommy John, who was struggling right here. He got Ellis Burks, but not easily. It took a good play by Pagliarulo, smothering a hard hit ball, hit just a bit to his left. And then in a 3-2 pitch, Marty Barrett really poleaxed the ball deep to left center field. Ward ran it down. And then the walk and the 2 base hits, and Boston with a 1-0 lead. The count now 2-0 to Dwight Evans. Lou Piniella looking on, concerned. No activity in the Yankee bullpen. Too early for that, but John struggling here in the first. Right field, this could be trouble, but Winfield looks up, and it is more than trouble. It is gone. 3-run home run for Dwight Evans. Dangerous indeed. The Red Sox lead it 4-0.
Evans will do that better than anybody on the ball club against left-handed pitching. He will go to the opposite field and with power. Here he just gets the ball up out over the plate from Tommy John. He knows it's out of here. He has really, in the last few years, become a very effective power hitter of the opposite field against left-handed pitching.
Well, the Red Sox now with a 4-0 lead for Evans, his 12th home run of the season. And all the activity with 2 men out. Todd Benzinger, the rookie up from Pawtucket, stepping in. He's hitting .320. Takes a strike for Evans, his first career home run off Tommy John. But a big one. It gives Boston a 4-0 lead here in the first inning. Right to Wayne Thomas. Side retired, but a tough inning for the Yankees. 4 runs go on the board for Boston on 3 base hits. The big one, a 3-run homer by Evans through half an inning of play. Red Sox 4, Yankees coming to bat.
Gentlemen, start your engines for a Crazy Eddie car stereo blowout blitz. Get anything and everything in car sound, security, and communications. Crazy Eddie, his prices are insane.
Big right-hander Roger Clemens taking his warm-up tosses. He has been staked to a very quick 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. Clemens making his 16th start. His second against the Yankees. He beat Bob Tewksbury 4-2 at Fenway Park in that Friday night game. As Clemens, working on the 3 days rest then, has had an extra day. So the big man coming in 1-0 this year against New York. He is 3-1 lifetime. And in his very brief Major League career has won 46 and lost only 19. So Clemens out of Katy, Texas. He can rush it up there, as everybody knows. Here's how the Red Sox will line up defensively. In the outfield, Jim Rice in left. It'll be Ellis Burks in center. Todd Benzinger in right. Around the horn, Evans at first. Barrett at second. Owen to shortstop. Boggs at third. And a battery of Gedman and Clemens.
And Willie Randolph will lead it off here against Roger Clemens. Yankees down by a 4 spot as we play the bottom of the first. Randolph hitting at .313. 44 RBIs for the Yankee co-captain. He was 5 for 13 in that series up in Boston. Ball 1. Going back to that series in Boston, as we mentioned, Yankees losing the final 2 and very easily could have been swept up there. There's a pitch, 2-0. Friday night game. Red Sox had their opportunities, gave it away. Clemens' record does not indicate. He does have a very impressive ERA of 3.13. He has pitched 3 shutouts. Smash up the gap, right center field, base hit for Willie Randolph. Burks cuts it off, holds Randolph to a single, and the Yankees started off with a base hit to right here in the bottom half of the first inning.
One of the things that you think about being a Yankee is the fact after they scored the first 4 with the first runs in the first inning here, the 4, you got Clemens out there and there's a little negative thought that pops in your mind. Now 4 runs in the first inning, usually, well, you say it's not that bad. But when you're looking at the other side of that page and that big hard-throwing right-hander out there, and what Willie did right there is he waited him out, got ahead in the count, made him throw the fastball in for the strike, and just popped it right out there in the right center field. And that'll take just a little bit of the mystique off.
The 4 down against Clemens can really take the starch out of you early. Ball 1 to Ward.
Well, if it takes, as I said, it's a negative aspect, certainly. I don't care who's out there, but especially Clemens. But if it takes the starch out of you, then you're not going to win it anyway.
All 4-0 leads are not equal. Pitch foul back, 1-1. Gary Ward hitting at .274. Roger Clemens, what a season last year. 14 in a row at one point. A 24-4 mark.
Gary's got to make him get the ball down. Ward cannot catch up to Clemens' heat upstairs.
1-2. Too many guys?
Yeah, there are a few. Very few. But there are some guys, there's some guys, especially if they're looking for it up there. But even if Gary's looking for it up there, he has a lot of problems to get on top of it.
1-2 now to Ward. 2-2.
And basically that's what Clemens is a high fastball pitcher with a pretty good curveball.
Yankees down 4-0 here in the bottom of the first. Randolph on at first base. Dwight Evans with a 3-run, 2-out home run. King that 4-run first for the Red Sox. Full count, 3-2.
Man on deck can catch up to him up there.
Yeah.
And Willie. Willie is another one. There's some good fastball hitters in that lineup as you look at Mattingly.
Clemens went 3-0, then 3-1 to Randolph, and the count is run full now to Ward. Nobody out, bottom of the first inning. Randolph goes, pitch swung on and missed. The throw down to second, safe. In on the Marty Barrett's tag, but Ward, a strikeout victim, and there's one man out.
Here's a high fastball by Clemens to Ward. He just can't get there. And Willie stealing his 9th stolen base in 9 attempts this year. Low throw by Gedman. Had it been right there all the way, maybe would have had him.
Well, the cheers you hear are for Don Mattingly. Eddie Layton, the organist, plays the chorus of Hello, Dolly. But you just transpose Hello, Donnie for Dolly. As Mattingly is back. And the pitch, ball 1. Came back Wednesday, went 0 for 3 in Baltimore. And that snapped the 15-game hitting streak that he had put together. Fouled away. 1-1. Of course, the Yankees still without Ricky Henderson. Claudell Washington still nursing a bit of a sore leg. He's the DH tonight. One and two. Randolph down at second, only one man out. Roger Clemens with a 4-run lead here in the bottom of the first. Broke his back. Going to be a base hit for Mattingly, but Randolph will not be able to score. That ball just kind of died before making it to the outfield.
That is not a case that Donnie can look at Clemens and say, I hit it just like you threw it. He just got sawed off, and unfortunately for Don, it could not get through.
So Randolph's at third, Mattingly at first, one man out. And Dave Winfield will step in.
Boy, here's where these power pitchers have such an advantage versus your guys who are good pitchers but are not of the power variety. Those power pitchers have the ability with men on the corners and less than 2 out to get out of an inning.
They can rear back.
That's right, and bring it right on home.
Dave Winfield on a 10-game hitting streak. He's sitting at 293. Let's see, what's Clemens doing there? Looks like some gum that got... If you don't have a desk where to put the gum underneath, you put it on your shoe. And Roger Clemens' office does not have desks. He has pitching mounds and bases. Yankees trying to battle back. We're in the first inning. 4-0 Boston. Strike one. That could be a very critical point in this ballgame.
Well, it certainly eased things up just a little bit mentally if you could put 1 or 2 on the board. There was a good curveball by Clemens. If he gets to the point he starts spotting the curveball, somebody's in trouble.
This guy's pinstripe.
He had games last year, several games, that he was spotting the curveball. And I mean, it was almost like, just send it on to Cooperstown if he got a run.
A lot of them last year. He was awesome, in a word. 1 ball, 1 strike. Popped up.
Oh, mercy.
And let's see, Barrett and Evans had a little bit of a problem there.
David got a hanger right there from Clemens and missed it.
And there are now 2 men out.
Look at this hanger right here. Boy, here's a great pitch to hit.
Instead, there are now 2 men out. And Winfield back on the bench. And as you can see, he's upset with himself. He knows he had something good there. Claudell Washington steps in. CW hitting a .307. Still bothered by that sore right leg. Strike one. 4-0 Boston. Bottom of the first inning. A leadoff hit by Randolph. He steals second. Mattingly with an infield hit. First and third. 2 men out. Center field. Burks went back. Now comes on. Sides retired. Yankees threaten, but come up north. No runs. A couple of hits. They leave 2 after an inning of play here at the stadium. Red Sox 4. Yankees nothing. Spencer Ross on the hawk. Ken Harrelson as we move to the second inning. Red Sox lead it by a score of 4-0. All the damage coming with 2 outs in the first inning. Spike Owen will lead it off here for Boston. With 2 men out, John walked by. Rice singled. Baylor singled home Boggs, and then Dwight Evans smacked the 3-run home run into the lower deck of the right field seats. Spike Owen hitting a .242. 3 for 12 last weekend at Fenway against the Yankees. Pass Pagliarulo, fair ball. That'll be extra bases. Easter will chase it down. And in with a stand-up double, Spike Owen, and the Red Sox picking up where they left off in the first inning. And a lot of the damage has been done down that third baseline. The base hit by Baylor with 2 men out, just out of Pagliarulo's grasp as he dove for it. And right here, watch this again. Owen just hitting it right inside the bag. No chance for Pagliarulo on this one, as he could not come up with it. And as soon as it got by, no doubt about it, a 2-base hit for Owen. And for Spike Owen, his 9th double of the season. The Red Sox have a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Rich Gedman takes ball 1. Gedman has been struggling. Became a free agent this year. They wound up re-signing with Boston. Activity in the Yankee bullpen. Up the middle. Randolph can't get it. Rounding third. Coming on in to score is Owen. Red Sox lead it by a score of 5-0. Little seeing eye ground ball. Good enough for yet another Boston run. Randolph gave it all he could, but to no avail. Rich Bordy up now in the Yankee bullpen. That's the 5th base hit of the ball game for Boston. And we'll go to the top of the order, and Ellis Burks. Burks hit a hard smash to Pagliarulo in his first at bat. The Pags knocked down, kept in front of him to his left, and threw him out. Lou Piniella. Yankees play Burks straight away. And there's the story of this ball game. All Boston thus far, but still very early. Ball one. Randolph, one. Not in time, says first base umpire Steve Palermo. We talked about Burke's good speed, and he hightailed it down the line that time to beat out that potential double play ball.
Looked like a good call by Steve Palermo at first. Burks can move it. Right here is going to try to time it. He had to at that point. They're not going to go to Tolly and turn it that way.
Ball just wasn't hit that hard. So one man out. Gedman erased. Burks aboard. And Marty Barrett at the plate. Tommy John had trouble with Barrett. Count went 3-2, and Barrett really teed off on a ball, hit it straight away center field, maybe about 380 feet away, that Ward hauled in. And then the roof began to cave in on Tommy John. The walk, 2 singles, and the 3-run homer by Evans. It really come down to it. There was not an easy out for Tommy John in that last inning.
Well, he really did not come in with the cut fastball on anybody. He threw the breaking ball down and in first pitch to Baylor. Outside of that, he tried to stay away, and you can't do that. You do that to a strong hitting ball club, and somebody's going to get you. You got to make them aware of the inside pitch.
No balls, 1 strike to Barrett. 1 man out here in the top of the second. Red Sox have added a run and lead at 5-0.
Base hit that Rice got out over the plate. Base hit that Baylor had out over the plate. Fastball to Evans for the 3-run homer. Up out over the plate. Well, that's a bad thing to a pitcher. Out over the plate. Those 4 words mean a lot of canceled checks.
In trouble. Now low for a ball, 1-1. Got to be careful with Burks on at first base also. 11 stolen bases. Back easily. One to Marty Barrett. He's pitched out. Burks wasn't biting. 2-1. Mark Salas behind the plate tonight. Red Sox leading it by a score of 5-0. Toronto playing Milwaukee tonight. Jimmy Key against Bill Wegman in that one. Pagliarulo, backhand stop. He's a good throw. It is a 4-1, and it goes up into the crowd. And Barrett will get another base. Burks will move over to third. And the Red Sox with a 5-0 lead, threatening to break this one open early. That'll go as a hit and an error.
He knows he can't get Burks at third base. It's checked at second base. And here he just turns it loose, and wow. As soon as it left his hand, Donnie really gave it a good effort, had no chance.
So second and third, nobody out, and they're going to walk Boggs intentionally. 1 man out. So So the bases will be loaded. Red Sox lead 5-0. It's the 13th time this year Boggs has been walked intentionally. Nobody else in the Red Sox has been given that honor more than 3 times.
And here comes Lou Piniella. I imagine that will probably be all for TJ.
Rich Bordy is in the bullpen. And he is warm. 5 runs, 6 hits for Boston against John. We're only in the 2nd inning. And that's going to be it for TJ. Tommy John is leaving. Bordy will come on. Tommy, you had something to say to first base umpire Steve Palermo and home plate umpire Dave Phillips.
I still think you may have been talking about that 2-2 pitch to Boggs in the 1st inning. He had 2 men out. He got Burks to ground out, Barrett to line out. Had to count 2-2 to Boggs through what looked like a pretty good strike. He did not get it. Walked Boggs, and boom, boom, boom. 4 quick runs across. Well, something, obviously, you know, when you go an inning and a third and give up 5 runs on 6 base hits, something was not there. But as we mentioned, Tommy was not throwing the ball in, plus the fact that he was working very, very slow. And that is not his M.O. When he gets out there, when he works his best and is most successful, he gets it and he throws it. It's not, maybe it's just, well, that old saying. Just want his night tonight.
Some nights you have it, and some nights you do not. And tonight, Tommy John, who has pitched so well this year, just did not have it. That's the 2nd shortest outing. Well, that is his shortest outing. His previous shortest was an inning and 2/3 against Minnesota. Right here, an inning and a 1/3 for John. Bases loaded, Rich Bordy. It was a very unenviable task of coming out with the bases loaded and only 1 man out. And a 5-0 deficit. Rice and Baylor. So Rich Bordy comes on with a 3-0 record, an ERA of 4.84. Piniella talking with first base umpire Steve Palermo and home plate umpire Dave Phillips.
The bullpen this season has just been outstanding for the most part. Sure, they've all had their lapses, all gone through their rough spots, but if you look at one collective effort, so to speak, that has been right there and has been really a savior up until this point through the first 72 ball games, the bullpen right at the top of the list.
Particularly the middle guys.
They've done a job. They have really done a job. And as I say, if you look at their numbers are probably the most misleading thing in the game of baseball. I mean, they really are. And, you know, I just get tired of people who are trying to always make so much out of numbers. It just doesn't happen that way. And yet you look at a lot of the numbers individually, and they're not that outstanding. But if you've seen them day in and day out like we have, well, what a job they have done. Well, we have a chance. A reminder, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or the use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Yankees and Sports Channel is prohibited.
So here's Bordy coming on. He has to face Jim Rice, who singled to right in his first at-bat. The bases are loaded, 1 man out. And the pitch for a ball. You take a look at the numbers of Bordy, 4.84 with the ERA. That is not impressive, but a couple of the ball games he came in similar to this one, in which on those occasions Dennis Rasmussen had gotten racked early. This one is rocked deep to left field. Bordy isn't going to get out of this one. Grand slam home run for Jim Rice. And the Red Sox put 4 more on the board and lead it now by a score of 9-0.
This is not at all how I envision this 3-game series starting off. Looked like some sort of a hanger, all-speed pitch up high. And there you can see, as we talked about the high lead arm with that single to right field the first time up, there he kept it low and just crunched it.
So Boston 9, the Yankees nothing. We're only in the second inning. 8 of the runs are charged to Tommy John. Pitch down low, 2-0. For Jim Rice, his 5th home run. He now has 32 RBIs. His 7th career grand slam.
What's a weather report?
You're looking for storms, aren't you?
Yeah, I'd like to see. City needs it. Needs a little rain. A lot of rain tonight. Get here in a hurry. At least in the next 3 innings.
After 10 o'clock, it won't matter. You want it earlier. Here's a ball. So Baylor takes a base on balls. We'll take another look at this home run off the bat of number 14, Jim Rice, the 356th of his career.
Yeah, you can see a difference right here. The low lead arm right there keeps it down. Boom. There you go. Top hand. Head of the bat just comes flying through and put it on the board.
9-0 Red Sox. Dwight Evans, who homered in the first inning, a 3-run shot to give Boston a 4-0 lead. Takes a breaking ball, ball 1. 9 runs, 7 hits for Boston. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Yankees. As you can see, that home run, a milestone for Evans.
Either won't rain or Wegman, one of the two.
One and one.
It's going to be a little embarrassing here.
At this point,
yeah.
it threatens to be. And the Red Sox have awakened. They've won 5 in a row, and they have jumped out quickly in this one. And we go back again to last Saturday's ball game after losing that disheartening game on Friday night. If ever you might have thought a team was going to come out Saturday afternoon and just kind of pack it in, particularly when they fall behind 3-0, that's going to go foul. You might have thought it was going to be the Boston Red Sox. But I got to tell you, they surprised me.
Yeah, me too. They really did. They looked very lethargic on Friday night. Played a terrible, well, as the Yankees did. The Yankees played a terrible ball game. It was just a giveaway. Who was going to give it up first? And finally, the Red Sox gave it to them. And then they get down 3 runs in a hurry in the first inning on the Saturday game. And they came back and won it 9-4. And indeed, that did start this 5-game winning streak they're on.
Fouled straight back. Count remains 1-2 to Evans. Dwight Evans in his 16th season with the Boston Red Sox. Strike 3. Got him on the breaking ball.
Yeah, and it was a good pitch to hit. Made a mistake, got away with it. I'll give him 2 in that sequence.
Curveball didn't have much of a break on it. 2 men out, and here's Todd Benzinger, the rookie, who lined one solidly, but right to Wayne Tollison in his first at bat.
24-year-old switch hitter.
Here's a strike.
The Red Sox activated Bill Buckner today and sent Glenn Hoffman down to Pawtucket. But there's also been some conversation to the fact of playing those young fellows. You know, your Benzingers, your Greenwells, your Burks. And you only got room for 24 on that roster.
So another story that Red Sox have kind of made Don Baylor available to a contender if they might be interested.
Right? Mm-hmm. Is that rumor or?
That's rumor. That's story.
I'll tell you, that's one thing about baseball. more rumors that fly around.
It's part of the fun of the game, though. Everybody's got the trade that they're going to make, and it's going to change everything around for their ball club. It's going to be a tough play. But Tollefson does make it as that ball kind of skittered back and forth from left to right, and Tollefson stayed with it. Side retired, but a big inning for the Red Sox. The grand slam homer by Rice. Boston puts 5 more on the board, and we've only gone an inning and a half, but the Red Sox have a 9-0 lead. Spencer Ross and Hawk Harrelson back here at Yankee Stadium as we move to the bottom half of the second inning. And we're getting a little bit of a sprinkle, I believe. You see the umpires have donned their jackets.
Come on, Jew.
And Roger Clemens will pitch to Mike Eastler, Mike Faldiarulo, and Mark Salas. Ball 1 to Eastler. He was hitting at 238 since rejoining the Yankees. 10 base hits and 42 at bats. He was hitting 281 with the Phillies. There's a strike. 1-1. In case you just joined us, 9 for the Red Sox.
Good for you, in case you just joined us.
If you're a Yankee fan, you would not have liked what you saw. A 3-run home run by Evans in the first, a grand slammer by Rice in the second. Tommy John going only an inning and a third, giving up 6 hits, 8 runs. The home run by Rice coming off Bordy. That's left field base hit. Eastler down the line. He should get 2. He will get 2 as Rice just kind of lopes over to chase it down on the slippery surface. Eastler in with a double, and the Yankees have a base runner leading off the second inning.
I guess we could sit up here and say, well, as we've heard in the past from some guys, well, it can be tough pitching with a 9-run lead. I'll tell you what, if you believe that,
a little easier than going to a 2-1 ball game.
Got some real estate down in the marshlands, we'll sell you.
Here's Faldiarulo.
I've heard that so much. You know, be watching a ball game or something, and all of a sudden something like that will happen. So, well, sometimes it can be real tough pitching with it.
Yeah, the pressure's not on you, and you just give him back a little, right?
Just fall right out of his chair.
One 1-0, 2-0. Show me the pitcher who will not take a 9-0 lead.
He belongs in Milledgeville.
Well, yeah, show a human being who is certifiable.
Right.
Where's Milledgeville?
That's a certifiable place in Georgia.
All right, I thought it was. It's the Chattahoochee of Georgia, right?
Chattahoochee.
That's Florida. That's Chattahoochee. The same milk. 2-1. Two balls, 2 strikes to Faldiarulo. The Yankees trailing 9-0 here in the second inning. Strike 3. Breaking ball low and inside. The Sox just didn't have a chance now.
No, he had his pitch, the previous pitch, fastball right there. And here he comes with that slurve he's got. Good one.
So 1 man out. For Clemens, his second strikeout. And Mark Salas will step in.
That wasn't a slurve either. That was just a solid overhand downer.
Yankees down 9-0 here in the bottom of the second. 9 runs, 7 hits for Boston. No runs, 3 hits for the Yanks. A little bit of a misty drizzle coming down. Hit right to Evans. Salas retired. Easler moves over to third. There are now 2 men out. So Wayne Tollison will step in. Tollison hitting at .238. Last 6 ball games, only 2 hits and 18 at bats. Looking for his first hit of the year against Boston. He was 0 for 9 last weekend. Ball 1. The Yankees are down a game in the Eastern Division race, and Toronto playing at Milwaukee tonight. That was a strike, 1-1. Easler at third. You saw that lineup in the outfield. Red Sox kind of play Tollison more straight away than a lot of ball clubs.
They were playing in the 3-game series at Fenway Park. They were playing almost everybody the same way, especially in that Friday night ball game, which is the first indication that you're looking at a club suffering from lethargy. But it changed.
Wins in a row will certainly bring one out of a lethargic state. That was that same pitch that he got Valderulo on, basically. Strike. That's it. 3. Side retired. And the Yankees go down. A leadoff double by Easler wasted as Clemens pitches out of it. The Yankees lead 1 through 2. 9-0 Boston.
Daddy always wanted a boy, so he taught me all about cars, how to fix them and keep them running smoothly, because knowing cars was his business, and now it's mine. That's why I know a good deal when I see one. Like Shell Fire and Ice with high-performance formula. Now at any one of the 104 Auto-Right stores near you. Do it right with Auto-Right.
Spencer Ross, Hawk Harrelson back here at the stadium. Red Sox lead it by a score of 9-0 as we move to the 3rd inning. Spike Owen will lead it off for Boston. He doubled in that 2nd inning, the inning in which the Red Sox put 5 runs across the board. A leadoff double by Owen, and the Red Sox were on their way to 5 big runs, and Tommy John was on his way to an early exit. Down the first baseline, fair ball. That's going to be a ground rule double as a fan snared that one on 1 hop. And Owen has a 2nd double of the ball game. Look at that expression. When it rains, it pours. Unfortunately for the Yankees, it isn't raining, literally, but it is raining on them right here by the Red Sox.
There was just a high curveball. He rips right by Mattingly and the bag. The 10th 2-bagger for Owen.
Red Sox shortstop down at 2nd base, Rich Gedman, who followed Owen's base hit with a little ground ball over Tommy John's head. That went directly over the bag in the center field. Owen scored easily. There's a strike. What's the biggest deficit ball game you were ever in that you saw your team come back from? You think about that for a minute, because you played a few years. Next question. Is the emotion always a downer? Or is there a certain stage where a ball club either A, feels they're beaten, or B, feels they have an opportunity to get back?
No, most of the time, let's face it, I mean, this is just the way it is. I think the most that I can recall that we ever came back was 8 runs, I believe. was not with the Red Sox when they were trailing 9-0. And they came back and beat California. They scored 9 in the 9th and 1 in the 10th to beat it 10-9. But the most I ever played in, I think, was 8 runs. But yeah, when you get down 9-0, especially to a good ball club, especially to a good pitcher, yeah, there's a feeling there. Now, the only guy that I have ever played with in my career, the only player that I ever saw in my career who really believed that you could win a ball game trailing 10 runs in the bottom of the 9th with 2 out was Pete Rose. Pete was the only guy I've ever seen like that. Most of the time, it's you're down 9-0 to a good pitcher out there, and for the most part, yeah, it's mentally over.
Gedman retired on that easy fly ball to Mike Easley. Remember a ball game here a couple of years ago against Minnesota. The Yankees were down 8-0, first or second, and it came back and won it Mattingly with a home run in the 9th inning. But of course, Roger Clemens wasn't pitching for the Minnesota Twins.
I remember a couple of years ago, I think the Yankees were down 7-0 in Chicago early, and came back and won it 12 or 13 to 8 after being down 7, in a hurry.
Ellis Burks, who's 0 for 2 tonight, bounced to third, hit into a force play. Breaking ball down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 2. Talk about this game being a matter of inches. In that second inning, 0 and double. Gedman singled him home. Then Burks hit that ground ball just a shade too slow for Randolph to turn it into a double play. And then the next batter, Barrett, hit one to the right side of Pagliarulo. If Pags plays it cleanly, there's a shot at throwing Barrett out at first base, and the inning's over. Instead, the walk to Boggs intentionally loaded him up, and Rice smacked the grand slammer. Rich Bordy on in relief of Tommy John. Who went an inning and a third, gave up 6 hits, 8 runs. 3-run homer to Evans. Bordy gave up the home run to Rice. There's a strike. And Mr. Burks knew it.
The only thing a game like this does is a few things, a couple things. First one is he gets one off the schedule. And as you look, it's right there. Burks got no beef. Indeed, he did knew that he was being rung up, and he'll grab some bench. But
what do you mean gets off? Everyone gets one off the schedule.
But I'm talking about in a kind way. And then the next thing is that it starts nitpicking. I think you'll see some nitpicking. If this game remains in the same shape it's in right now, and it concludes this way, you'll see some nitpicking going on now. That's the biggest thing that it does, really.
Nitpicking in what respect?
Oh, a lot of respects. You'll see people start to second guess a little bit. A lot of things, as we talked about at the top of the show, which I thought was very, very important. The fact this club has not hit collectively all season. They have not. And at that point, you've got to start at this saying, when are they going to get it together? And I think all the questions that people have more or less laid off of will come to the fore in a game like this, especially in a big 3-game set when the club has not been playing that well.
It's easy to criticize when things are going poorly.
Oh, sure.
Going right. And sometimes it can be constructive, and sometimes it can be helpful. Sometimes it can get...
Very seldom is nitpicking constructive or helpful.
I thought I was going to finish up by saying sometimes it can get a couple of guys pretty nasty at each other.
Yep.
3-1. Marty Barrett, 1 for 2 in this ball game. Had that infield hit in the second inning. Nothing Red Sox as we play the third. Left field, but right to Mike Easley to retire the side. A leadoff double by Spike Owen. He remains at second base. Red Sox leave one. We've gone 2.5. Boston leading it by a score of 9-0. And right now, let's go to Lee Zeidman in our studios. Lee?
Thanks, Spencer. While you're enjoying the Yankees, the Mets have opened a weekend series in Philadelphia. Mets are 6-0 against the Phils so far this season. Here's what's happening. The Phillies looking to break that streak. Kevin Gross, the pitcher, hits one to left. Lance Parrish scores easily. Lee Mazzilli has no play at the plate as Chris James scores. The Phillies jumped out in front 3-0 on that. Since then, Lance Parrish has added a 2-run homer. It's 5-0 in the 4th inning. We'll send you back to the Bronx for more Yankees baseball right after this.
Bottom half of the 3rd inning. 9-0 Red Sox. 9 runs, 8 hits. Yankees, no runs, 3 hits. They committed 1 error. Willie Randolph will lead it off here for New York. Yankee co-captain led off the bottom of the 1st inning with a base hit off Roger Clemens. One of the 3 the Yankees have put together. Randolph stole second. Mattingly had an infield hit in that inning. But with 1st and 3rd, the Yankees unable to bring one across. And Randolph has his second base hit of the ball game. Solid base hit to center field.
Most of the hitters will know at this particular juncture, Clemens, and it's a good calculated guess. Clemens, with that 9-0 lead, is not going to try to get behind anybody. He's going to try to throw strikes. Willie got first ball fastball, jumped all over it.
And Gary Ward will step in. Ward a strikeout victim in his first at bat. Clemens has struck out 3. Ball 1. Talked back in the 1st inning after the 4 runs. The difficulty of coming back against the Clemens. And now 9 behind. Fastball up high, 2-0. Yankees up against a pitcher who has turned in 3 shutouts this year. Two and 1. That's fouled out of play. Randolph on at first base. Evans holding him on. Salk mentioned earlier, Bill Buckner off the disabled list, suffering with a right hip injury. I'll tell you, he went through a lot of verbal abuse after that World Series, but it's one gutsy ball player. Man has hobbled out there for so many years in those bad ankles. And has played and played and played through a lot of pain.
Talking to some Red Sox people prior to the game, they said he can still hit, but he can't hit home runs anymore. His legs just won't take him through the swing.
Two and 2 to Ward. Right field. This could be trouble. And over the shoulder, Benzinger hauls it in, and Randolph will have to retreat back to first base.
Here he gets a breaking ball from Clemens up, and going away goes right with it. Benzinger sort of surrounded that one. Circle the wagons a little bit before catching up to it.
And Ward's retired. Don Mattingly had an infield hit in his first at bat, just skipped one over the mound, and the ball just never reached the outfield. Randolph was on second. Had a hold at third. Yankee first baseman hitting at .310. And of course his first appearance of the year against the Red Sox. Strike 1. Pretty impressive number there for Mattingly. 1K in his last 98 at-bats. Takes it left side, out of play, 0-2.
It'll take him a while to get that timing and the zeroing in, so to speak, mentally up at the plate. I guess the best way to describe it right now is he's got a lot of loose ends he's got to tie up.
Missed a couple of weeks. It is tough to come right back and step right back in. Outside for a ball, 1-2. And let's face it, despite the .310 batting average, Donnie really just hasn't been in the kind of groove that
No.
Yankee people have grown to expect.
Not at all.
For some, the year he's had so far, a career season. For Mattingly, he's just getting started. Base hit right here. Randolph will scoot around to third. And Mattingly's a perfect 2 for 2. And with one man out, the Yankees will put runners at the corners. Randolph at third, Mattingly out at first base.
Here, Donnie just muscles it out there. You see that firm right side he's hitting against. He got there in a hurry, too. He straightened up. You've got to straighten up. He straightened up in a hurry. Well, I'll tell you, that's such a great asset. Some guys just, they straighten up, but it's just a shade too late. A shade too late. And he gets there, and if you can do it as quick as he can, that's one reason he's a great hitter.
There are not many Don Mattingly's around. Here's Winfield, popped up to Barrett in his first at bat. Yankees were threatening in the first inning with first and third, and only one man out. So the same scenario right here for Winfield.
I doubt if he'll get as good a pitch this time as he got last time, but he might won't get one as good, but it won't be better. He got a hanger last time and popped it up.
Only different about this scenario, it was the Yankees were down 4 then. They are down 9 right here. He smashes this one deep to right field. Say goodbye. Home run, Dave Winfield. And the Yankees are on the board. We've got a 9-3 ball game.
A much more difficult pitch to hit, fastball up off Roger Clemens out over the plate, and I'll tell you, big man hit it. He goes right into that trot. He crushed it.
16th home run for Winfield. RBIs 52, 3 and 4, and Claudell Washington takes a strike. We've got a 9-3 ball game here on the bottom of the third. Guess it must be tough pitching with a 9-0 lead. Claudell pops this one up. Boggs comes over, but it's going to drift back. Dave Winfield, home run number 16. Those who just joined us, we were kidding about that last inning, about the guys who say, it's tough pitching with that big lead. It's a heck of a lot easier. Foul back.
And here he just gives up a 3-run dinger, and he's still got a 6-run lead.
Claudell flied to center in his first at bat. 9 runs, 8 hits for the Red Sox. It's John McNamara, the leader of the Boston band, in the middle. Nice man, Johnny Mac.
Played for him in Dallas one year, AAA.
1-2. He can quietly get angry at
he can get the pinky in a hurry. We lost 18 in a row.
That's not in a hurry. I mean,
no, but we lost 18 in a row, and you know how it gets down there. So he had us come to the clubhouse very early one afternoon, about 2 o'clock. There was a change outside, and the count 2-2 to Claudell. He let us sit there for about 2.5 hours in that hot clubhouse. We were all just scared to death because we were all babies at the time, 19 years old, 20. He comes in, fellas, Don't worry about a thing. I'm having a bad year. Turn around and walked right out. Johnny Mack.
Did one heck of a job with his Boston ball club last year. Right field down the line. Will it stay fair? It is a foul ball as Claudel whacked that one.
Got a hanger from Clemens right there and ripped it.
Overcast night here at the stadium, but the sun has been shining on the Red Sox. They lead at 9-3, bottom of the third inning. I'll tell you, mighty close right there. Full count. Claudel takes a base on ball. Well, the 2-2 count. Let's take another look at this one.
Here was the curveball. Looked like a good strike. And this is the 2-2 pitch, not the 3-2 pitch. Hello. He'll take it.
Well, Clemens thought he had it. Instead, it goes 3-2, and the base on balls. First one given up by the Red Sox right-handed. So Washington is on. And Mike Easter will step in.
Those 3-run homers will do a lot to turn the club's attitude around. Those are attitude changers.
Eastler double to left his first at bat. Takes a strike. Red Sox with a 3-run homer by Evans in the first, a grand slammer off the bat of Jim Rice in the second. They took a 9-0 lead. Winfield's 3-run homer here in the third. And we've got a 9-3 count. 1-1. Washington leading away from first. Two and one. Been a tough inning for Clemens. The leadoff hit by Randolph. Ward hit one down the right field line that Benzinger caught up with. Mattingly single, a Winfield a home run, and now the walk to Washington. And the 2-1 pitch in strike two, 2-2. Paldiarulo on deck. And Mike said, or thought, it was up a little high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Left field, base hit inside the line. Claudel Washington will dig for third. Eastler on his way to second. And the Yankees have put runners at second and third, with only 1 man out here in the bottom of the third inning. Could not have been much closer down that line.
There's the all-speed pitch from Clemens, and Michael just going right with it. You see, just inside is 2 doubles for the evening. He now has 3 on the season. And Bill Fisher, Red Sox pitching coach, out to the mound.
Red Sox bullpen is still quiet. But we're not far away from seeing some activity out there.
Well, another one of those 3-run homers that change your attitude even a little more.
And Mike Paldiarulo will step in. Palyarulo, a strikeout victim in his first at bat. Three ball game. Red Sox in front, bottom of the third inning. Runners at second and third, only one man out.
Well, Mike can't let that fastball right down the chute go by and then go after that bad curveball. He's got to get after it, but he's got to make him get it down. Cannot go after the high heat. Can't get up there.
0-1. Clemens struck him out in his last at bat in an overhand curveball that broke down and in. 1-1. Took his bat, 1-2.
Hard breaking pitch coming in. That ball didn't look like it got his bat.
Certainly did. Dave Phillips said yes, though. Pags is saying no. 1-2.
Boy, that's a big pitch.
And Pags loops this in the short center field. Brooks comes out and a drop for a base hit. Washington will score. Easter will have to hold at third. And the Yankees with runners at the corners. And we've got a 9-4 ball game now in favor of Boston.
Burks has a good arm, but there's a case. Evidently, Michael did not check the outfielders. There he just gets flared, jammed, I should say, and flares one out in the center field. You check your outfielders, you got a score on that one.
Well, now we're going to get some activity out of the Red Sox bullpen. Joe Sambito's up. And Tom Bolton. Nine-4, Mark Salas steps in. Runners at first and third. Popped up foul behind the plate, out of play.
Mark's got to sit on dead red right here. Just that simple. He looked like the off-speed pitch right there. He got up out over the plate.
It's Tom Bolton and Steve Crawford on the bullpen. Excuse me.
Dead red is the way to go. You got to sit on Clemens, especially in this situation where you got a 9-4 ball game and a good fastball hitter at the plate.
Well, it's a big out here for Clemens. The Yankees still 5 down. But Salas with that short right field porch could really change the complexion of this one. Eastler down at third. Palyarulo on at first, only one man out. And it's popped up foul. This one will drift back behind the Red Sox dugout.
Well, Clemens thinking the same way. Slider first pitch, and then comes back with a straight change.
And an 0-2 count here on Salas. Chief Pop grounded out to first baseman Evans in his first at bat. One and two. Since joining the Yankees, Salas 7 for 35. Outside, 2-2. Yankees have put 4 on the board here in the bottom of the third. A 3-run homer by Winfield, and a walk to Washington, a double by Eastler. A Tagliarulo single, sending Washington home. Still only 1 man out. Luke, left side, foul. Real good crowd on hand tonight. There were a lot of them late in getting in. Lou Piniella with Mark Connor, the Yankee pitching coach. First and third for New York. I'll tell you, there have been 2 pitches in this inning that Mr. Clemens might have or could have a beef on.
Well, let's go back to the first inning with Tommy John.
Yeah, that's right. Goes both ways. The pitch to Claudel. And right here, the count goes full. And he walks it. The bases are loaded. Tagliarulo moves down to second. John McNamara has not moved. He's just sitting there in that Red Sox dugout. Crawford and Bolt continue to heat up. We got a 9-4 ball game. Suddenly the tying run is sitting in the on-deck circle. Suddenly Lou Piniella's ball glove on the verge of getting back into this ball game. Wayne Tollison, a strikeout victim, his first at bat. Ball 1.
Here's where Tolly's really got to grind right now. He has got to make Clemens throw him a strike below the letters. Cannot help him out.
Want to know the count to Tollison. Got the inside corner. 1-1. 4 runs in here on the bottom of the third. Lou sending out some kind of a signal.
Going to make sure he knows there's 1 out.
That's fouled away. Clemens ahead of Tollison. 1-2 with 4 runs in. The bases loaded. 1 man out. 9-4 Boston. Salas on at first. Tagliarulo down at second. And Mike Eastler over third base. And the 1-2 pitch coming. Fouled away.
Dolly had decided to bunt prior to getting the 2 strikes there. That's why you got to make sure that runner at third knows that there's 1 out.
Left field, this could be trouble down the line. It'll drop for a base hit. Eastler scores. Tagliarulo scores. Ball skips away from Rice. And the runners move up the base. 2 more in. It's now a 9-6 ball game.
And here comes Johnny Mack. He's seen enough. Well, there's a nice little bit of hitting by Talley. Going up there, grinding indeed. All of a sudden, just hitting a little duck snort right down that left field line, and those are the kinds that will just break your back.
Well, Roger Clemens had a 9-0 lead. He will not get a decision here as Tollison just loops that one to left. Eastler scores. Once Jim Rice here. He just bobbles that ball away, and very alertly Tollison moves down to second. And a disappointed Roger Clemens will head back to the dugout. So we've got a new ball game here, or nearly such.
I tell you, we mentioned at the top, Clemens did something that, if you're got the white uniforms on, you like to see. He came in early from the bullpen. All of a sudden now, the Yankees scored 4 runs in what was a comparatively long the Red Sox scored 4 runs in what was a comparatively long top of the first inning. And he was sitting in there. And for some reason, it just looked like he did not get into that good rhythm that he can get into out there. Meanwhile, he's out of there, and now it's anybody's ball game. But while we have a chance, let's check some other scores for you. Tigers leading Baltimore 2-0. That's after 5 in Detroit. Griffin against Terrell. Darrell Evans has cranked out his 13th home run of the year. That was a 2-run shot in the first inning. After 5 at Cleveland, Oakland leading the Indians 5-0. Ken Seiko, number 12. He also had a bases-loaded triple in the 3rd inning when they scored 4 times. That's Stewart against Carlton. After 3.5 at Comiskey Park in Chicago, California, leading the White Sox 2-0. Royce against De Leon. Jerry Royce going for his 2nd straight shutout. After an inning and a half, Toronto, Milwaukee, no score. Jimmy Key against Bill Wegman. After an inning and a half at Kansas City, no score. Mariners against the Royals. Morgan against Lee Brandt. And Texas leading Minnesota 1-0. That's after an inning and a half. Down at Arlington, Texas, Viola against Witt. Over in the National League, after 5.5, Phillies leading the Mets 5-0. Fernandez and Sisk on the hill for the Metropolitans. Gross all the way thus far for the Phillies. Parrish. Lance Parrish has cranked out his 7th home run. After 5 in Montreal, Expos leading St. Louis 4-1. McGrain against Sebra. No home runs in that ball game thus far. After 3 at Pittsburgh, 1-0 Pirates over the Cubs. Maddox against Drabek. Barry Bonds has hit his 11th of the game, or 11th of the year, I should say. And later on, Atlanta at San Diego, Mailer against Shaw. Cincinnati at Los Angeles, Power against Honeycutt. And Houston at San Francisco, Nippert against Lacoste.
Well, new pitcher in the ball game here for Boston. Right-hander Steve Crawford comes on with a 3-2 mark. Last outing, an inning 2/3 against Milwaukee in a victory that the Red Sox put together 3 days ago. There you see his numbers. 8 more base hits than innings pitched, just about. 31 strikeouts, 17 walks. Runners at 2nd and 3rd, 1 man out. Willie Randolph, who was a perfect 2 for 2 against Clemens, will step in. Randolph representing the tying run. We are playing the bottom of the 3rd. It is 9-6 in favor of the Red Sox. Randolph started off this inning with a single to center. Mattingly singled with 1 out. Winfield a 3-run homer. Then a walk to Washington, a double by Eastler. Pandirulo singled 1 home. Salas walked, and Tollison singled on 2 more. Went to second on the error by Rice. 2-0. It's been a wild ball game.
Yes, it has. And Crawford can get wild out on the mound. That's been his problem throughout his career. He has been a 2.031 pitcher. But he has a good arm. Throws hard. Of course, not as hard as Clemens. But you can get to him.
A tie ball, 3-0. Only 1 man out. Red Sox got 4 in the first, 3 of them on an Evans home run, 5 in the second, 4 of them on a Rice grand slammer. 6 on the board here for the Yankees. The runners at 2nd and 3rd, 1 man out. 3-1 now for Willie Randolph. Year-old Steve Crawford, 6'5" tall, a native of Pryor, Oklahoma. Ball 4. The bases are loaded with the Yankees.
Another very close pitch. We'll take it.
And Crawford will now have to pitch to Gary Wood. Talk about a ball game turning around. Ward's 0 for 2, struck out, fly to right, takes a strike. He was the first out in this inning. And it was not an easy out as he looped one down the right field line, and the rookie Benzinger went over and made the catch deep in the corner. Right field. This is going to drop. It is a base hit. 1 run is in. Rounding third, coming on in to score is Tollison, and it's a 9-8 ball game.
Good piece of hitting right there. Gary not getting greedy in the bases loaded situation, just pokes it right out there in the right field. He now has 55 ribbies.
And Randolph is at third, representing the tying run. And Don Mattingly at the plate. The Yankees have scored 8 times here in the bottom of the third inning. Mattingly a perfect 2 for 2. Infield hit in the first and singled, and he lines this one down the left field line. We've got a tie ball game. Ball goes into the corner. Randolph scored. Ward on his way to third. They're waving him on in, but he gets caught, and he's going to get tagged out by Wade Boggs. Mike Ferraro waved Gary Ward on in, and Ward just got a little crossed up. He stumbled, tried to get back to the bag, and Rice's throw went right to the bag.
Wait a minute, Spence. He stopped him. He stopped him at first. Then when the bobble was down in the left field corner, then he turned it on again. But Mike was stopping him, holding him up right there. Then all of a sudden changed it, waved him in, and it was too late. At this point now, Ferraro's got him held, but there Jimmy Rice bobbles it. Now he turns it on. Now he stops him. Now he tries to get back. Too late.
So an RBI for Mattingly on a 2-base hit. His 15th double of the season. And we're tied at 9-9. Yankees have scored 9 runs in this inning on 8 base hits. There's the story of this ball game. What a crazy inning. And here's the man who finally brought some life to this Yankee attack. Winfield's 3-run home run. There's a throw down to second, and Mattingly gets back. Winfield with a 3-run home run that made it 9-3 in this inning. Since then, Pagliarulo singled home 1. Tollison has singled home 2. Ward has singled home a couple, and Mattingly doubled home 1. We're tied at 9. Pitch in for a strike. Mattingly with 2 base hits this inning, a perfect 3 for 3. Only in the third inning. We played an hour and 45 minutes.
Don't make a difference. They got it tied up.
Breaking ball. Winfield doesn't bite. 2-1. Winfield, the 13th man to come to the plate in this inning. Yankees down 9-0 to Roger Clemens in the third inning. Clemens is gone. Crawford has come on. 3-1. 8 of the 9 runs charged to Clemens, who went 2 1/3, gave up 9 hits, walked 2, struck out 3. Smashed left field. Mattingly, ball is bobbled by Rice. He'll come out and to score. And down to second base goes Winfield, that throws into center field. And Bensinger in the right position. Because if he is not as close in as he was, Dave Winfield might have scored all the way from second base. 10-9 New York.
That's it. You don't think this is a hell of a ball game, I'll tell you.
Now you're having fun. Huh?
Oh, yeah. I tell you. It's no fun losing 9-0.
Well, Mr. Crawford's not having fun. Claudell Washington coming to the plate. Tom Bolton, the lefty, will come out as we watch this one again.
Boy, he just rips it. I mean, gets that high heat from Crawford, turns on it. If he gets it up, that one's way out of here. So here in this inning, in the third, Winfield has a homer, single, 4 RBIs.
I'll tell you, you're down 9-0 to Roger Clemens in the third inning. A normal occasion, or just about all the time, it's time to pack up and go home.
Well, I know one thing. I was so glad to see him in that dugout rather than coming out of that bullpen after that long top half of the first. We saw the same thing happen to Rick Rhoden out in Seattle. And it's just something that you can lose. You can sit there and get a little stiff. But what a ball game. Thus far here in the bottom of the third, 19 runs have scored. There have been 20 hits, 2 errors. And while we have a moment, Sports Channel keeps you up to date on the world of New York sports throughout each weeknight with our Sports Channel Tonight updates. And immediately following tonight's game, an expanded edition of New York Sports Nightly. Tonight, Harvey Pack previews the weekend racing card at Belmont. And we'll also take a special look at the Meadowlands Indy. That's Sports Channel Tonight and the expanded wrap-up edition of New York Sports Nightly, only on Sports Channel, the official channel of the New York fan.
So here's the left-hander, Tom Bolton, the third pitcher for the Red Sox in this third inning. 25-year-older from Nashville. Comes into the ballgame with a 3.63 ERA. He went 2/3 of an inning last Friday night in Boston, gave up 3 hits and a run in the marathon that the Yankees won in 13 innings. And this one, at this stage, could go longer than it took to play 13 innings last Friday night. We've gone almost 2 hours to play 2 2/3 innings. And Steve Crawford, who came on, faced 4 batters, gave up 3 hits, walked 1, 2 runs, and responsible for Winfield down at second base.
And his replacement, the southpaw Ray Bolton, not overpowering. Decent fastball, sinker. Best pitch is his curve.
John McNamara wondering what went wrong in this one. And here is Claudell Washington. Flied to center and walked. In for a strike. Claudell, the 14th man to come to the plate in this inning. He walked in his first at bat.
Well, he sent 18 men to the plate in one inning in Kansas City earlier this year.
The play by Gedman, keeping Winfield from going to third, 1-1. Bolton is tall, and he is kind of skinny. 6'3", 175 pounds. Long and lanky, as they used to say. Swung on a miss, strike 2. And Tommy John, who had to think he was on his way to a defeat tonight. is off the hook in this ballgame.
I'll tell you one thing, you could have won yourself an awful lot of cash. I mean, a whole bunch, Reagan.
With Clemens up 9 in the third. Gets by the wild pitch. Winfield will move over to third. Bolton's third wild pitch of the year. So Winfield down at third.
Gedman did not move at all for that. No shift whatsoever. Went after it like he got crossed up almost. But if he can do it once, of course, Rich has had trouble at the plate, but he's also had trouble behind the plate since coming back this year.
It's not been anything like the '86 season for the Red Sox catcher. 2-2. Took a little bit off that one. Count goes full. 3-2 to Washington. 2 men out. 10 runs in for the Yankees here in the third. New York leads at 10-9. Ball 4. So Bolton issues the base on balls. Winfield remains at third, and Mike Easler will step in. Easy's perfect tonight. 2 for 2. Doubled in both at bats. One of the doubles here in this third inning. And he scored a run. His first double sent Washington over to third. Fouls it. Past third base, strike one. Broke his bat on that one. We'll go back and get some fresh lumber.
These double-digit innings are exciting.
We've certainly had enough excitement here tonight. I'll tell you that. Yankees and the Red Sox. Boston 4-0. A 3-run homer by Evans in the first. Boston 9-0. A grand slammer by Rice in the second. And this half of the inning has taken just about 45 minutes to play. The Yankees have scored 10 runs on 9 hits. Red Sox have committed an error. And the pitch gets by. Winfield will score. Washington will stop at second base. 11-9 New York. If it can happen once, it can happen again. I think somebody just said that a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a pass ball right there. As you see John McNamara. Boy, you can fry some eggs on this fanny right now. There's a hot Irishman. Oh, right between the wickets.
11 runs in. And now McNamara, he sat about as long as he could. He is angry, upset. And it is naturally called a pass ball. And the count 1-1 now to Mike Easler. At second base, Marty Barrett will finally end this inning. But what an inning. The Yankees put 11 runs on the board on 9 base hits. There was 1 Boston error. The Yankees leave 1 and turn a 9-0 deficit into an inning. The Yankees put 11 runs on the board on 9 base hits. There was 1 Boston error. The Yankees leave 1 and turn a 9-0 deficit into an 11-9 lead through 3 innings of play.
Crazy Eddie's going bananas during Crazy Eddie's TV and video blowout blitz. Get anything and everything in TV and video on sale now. Crazy Eddie, his prices are bananas.
You talk about wild ball games. We've got one for you. Yankees and the Red Sox. Red Sox with a 9-0 lead going to the bottom of the third. And the Yankees put 11 runs on the board in the bottom half, with most of the damage done against last year's Cy Young Award winner, Roger Clemens, who goes only 2 1/3 innings, gives up 9 hits, 8 runs. Yankees get the final 3 off Crawford and take an 11-9 lead going to the 4th inning. And home plate umpire Dave Phillips has just thrown somebody out of the ball game. I believe it's Marty Barrett. Barrett comes storming out. So McNamara and Barrett out of the Red Sox bullpen as Phillips pointed to the dugout, threw somebody out. Barrett saying, what's going on? Why me? What did I do? And now McNamara getting into it. And McNamara having some words with the home plate umpire, Dave Phillips. And Barrett engaged in conversation with Palermo. Now, I'm not sure who's gotten thrown out of this ball game. It might be Barrett. And Johnny Mack is still, now Johnny Mack's getting hot. Now Johnny Mack is getting even warmer.
Well, what they're talking about are a couple of those pitches during that inning. That's what they're talking about, and that's what Barrett was probably getting on him about.
There were 2. One to Claudell Washington in particular, another to Mark Salas. And Clemens thought he had strikes on him. That would have gotten 2 big outs. Well, Wade Boggs will lead it off here. We're in the 4th inning. Yankees leading 11-9. Boggs has walked twice, once intentionally. That was in the 2nd inning. That loaded the bases, and Jim Rice then smacked the grand slam home run. And the Red Sox had themselves a 9-0 lead. Check swing foul. It was Barrett, we get the announcement, ejected from the ballgame. Yankees lead at 11-9, but remember now, Rich Morty has been hanging around the bullpen for 45 minutes. This could be tough for him. Down low, 1-2. It'll be Boggs, Rice, and Baylor.
Well, the big break he got right there was he was able to throw some more during the argument.
Good point. Tolleson. Wade Boggs retired. 1 man out. Remember, Boggs on that 25-game hitting streak. His career high is 28. Tolleson just scooting over. And there's 1 man out. Here's Jim Rice. Single to right in his first at bat, and then a grand slam home run. Salas coming back for this one, but it'll land on the screen. The grand slam home run came off 40. Red Sox had scored a run, led it 5-0 in the 2nd inning. The walk to Boggs was intentional. It loaded him up. And Rice took one down the left field line for 4 runs. His 7th career grand slam. Inside for a ball. Some people think of Jim Rice, aside of the great ball player that he is, Some people picture him as the fellow who ran into the stands last year to get his hat back. But I visualized the Jim Rice running into the stands and carrying an injured party out of the stand in his arms, a young kid. And that's the image that sticks most vividly in my mind. One ball, 2 strikes. Well, the Yankees got one to beef about right there, maybe. 2-2.
Jim Rice gets along well with everybody except the media. Consequently, if you don't get along with the media, you're going to be misunderstood or misconstrued, whoever it may be. And it's not the media's fault.
Center field. Gary Ward. Ball up there quite some time. 1 man out.
If that's the relationship you're going to have with them, you can't expect for them to write or portray you in any other light but that. Jimmy is a very close friend of mine, and we have talked for hours on trying to get him to be more patient and not be so touchy about everything that has been written. And it just didn't work. His whole career, he's had a tough time with the relationship with the media.
But I still see that picture of him carrying the kid out of the stands. The positive side.
Oh, he's a terrific guy.
0-1. And Baylor takes this one foul. No balls, 2 strikes to Don Baylor. We're playing the top of the 4th. In case you ran out of the house after the 2nd inning, figured I'll just flip it back on and see what the score might be. Well, sit down, because we've got a new ball game. Yankees were down 9-0. They lead now 11-9 with an 11-run bottom of the 3rd inning. To the count to Baylor, who broke his bat on that one. Red Sox will need another second baseman in the lineup when we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's got to be Ed Romero. Glenn Hoffman sent down today. Bill Buckner activated. 0-2 pitch, left field. This one is going to drop. Eastler will play it on a hop, and Baylor on with a base hit. Red Sox 10th base hit of the ball game.
Thus far, this game has seen, I tell you, the 3 innings. I don't ever recall more. This happened in 3 innings. Ever.
Just for a compact
20 runs, 21 hits, a couple errors, some bad plays, an ejection.
Guys getting second opportunities. Winfield in the 1st inning, 1st and 3rd, 1 man out. Pops up on a pitch that he would have loved to have gotten back, and then he gets another chance in the 3rd inning. It takes it for 3 runs.
Takes a much tougher pitch hit out here. A high fastball off Clemens, and I think that was the one that really backed Roger up a little bit. That got him thinking a little bit. When you're a high fastball pitcher, and all of a sudden somebody just rips one about 430, a line shot off your best high heat, you start thinking they'll give you some doubts.
Dwight Evans, whose home run in the 1st inning, gave the Red Sox a 4-0 lead. Baylor leading away from first. 11-9 Yanks, top of the 4th. Pitch in for a strike. Wednesday night in Baltimore, we're packing our bags and leaving the ballpark after this length of time. Ball game lasted 2 hours, 9 minutes. This game just about 2 hours, 9 minutes long. You figure Filberts, were wondering, 11 runs, 3 off the all-time Yankee record set back in 1920. This one's going to be a base hit. Baylor round second, on his way to third. Evans digging for second. He'll be in there. And runners at second and third with 2 men out.
There was a good recovery by Gary Ward to keep Don Baylor at third base. That outfield is wet. He could have slipped very easily. As you take another look now, the ball will stop and looks to go back on him just a shade. He's digging as hard as he can. Now look right there. Has to reach back, keeps his footing. If he falls at all, Baylor's going to score.
And quickly we're going to get some activity in the Yankee bullpen. With runners at second and third, 2 men out. And Evans down at second, representing the tying run. Gary Warden center field, and here's the rookie Todd Benzinger. Cecilio Galante has gotten up in the Yankee pen.
Neither team is packing it in.
This ball game, long way from being over. And we could yet see quite a bit more fireworks.
Yeah, you'll have to see some records set tonight. Good, got a good chance at it, good start at it.
Yeah. 20 runs through 3. Now low to Benzinger, 1-1. The rookie is lined to short, bounced to short. Evans is down at second. Baylor on at third. 2 men out. Yankees lead 11-9 here in the top of the 4th. This could tie the ball game. Ward short hops it. 2 runs are in. We're even at 11. That didn't take long. With 2 men out, Ward tried to do everything he could, and very fortunately for him, he was able to short hop that ball and keep him going by.
Well, that young man right there has already got himself 6 RBIs since being put into the lineup. He's only been to the plate now 12 times. But this is the worst we've seen Bordy throw the balls this year.
Again, we talked, and not making an alibi for Rich, but we talked about it for Clemens in the first inning, the long wait he had in the dugout, and right here, Bordy sitting 45 minutes on the bench while the Yankees were putting together 11 runs.
Well, he really hadn't thrown the ball that well since he's come in, though.
Gave up the home run to Rice, the grand slammer. Well, there's a story.
Top of the 4th.
Spike Owen's been perfect. 2 for 2, a couple of doubles. Down the line, he's 3 for 3. And this could be his 3rd double. He's going to make the turn and hold on with a base hit. Runners at first and third with Benzinger moving around at third base. 2 men are out. Let's see what the ruling's going to be. They may be ruling that a fan may have touched the ball, and that would turn it into a ground rule double. And that's what home plate umpire Dave Phillips is calling.
No, not yet. He's still at first base.
Pinella is going to make the signal. That's going to be it for Bordy. Cecilio Galante is going to come on. So the Red Sox with 2 men out, but 2 runs on the board, and this inning not over yet. Runners at first and third. You see third base umpire Tim Cheetah talking with Joe Morgan. And Pinella and Mark Salas awaiting the arrival of Cecilio Galante. Bordy goes 2 and a third. Gives up 4 hits. He's given up 3 runs, responsible for the 2 runners aboard. 1 walk. 2 strikeouts. Check the hit total at 6 base hits that Rich Bordy gave up.
And a reminder, Sunday at 1:30, the Yankees continue this series with their rivals, the Boston Red Sox. So be sure and catch all the action. That's the Yankees and the Red Sox Sunday at 1:30 exclusively on Sports Channel.
11 the score, and it's Cecilio Gawante's turn.
We finally got back to even. Got a game that'll drive manager up a wall. Both of them.
You know, I remember the first ball game we saw here when I was a kid. My brother Joe took me to the stadium. Yankees played the Washington Senators. Sid Hudson was pitching for the Senators. And in the first inning, the Yankees, I think, scored 7 runs. Cliff Mapes hit a grand slam home run right down the left field line. And Sid Hudson wound up going all the way, and the Senators won the ball game something like 13-11. It was one of those kind of ball games. But tonight, 9-0 Boston going to the bottom of the third. The Yankees get 11. Red Sox have tied it here on the top of the fourth. And Cecilio Gawante will come on to replace Rich Bordy. Well, we're going to have a big July 4th weekend here, but we've had fireworks here tonight, I'll tell you. Quite a bit of them. The Texas Rangers are going to be in for that July 4th weekend. On Friday, July 3rd, the game time 7:30 after the game, the Grucci Fireworks Show. And on Saturday, July 4th, game time is 2:20. And after that game, Miami Sound Machine will appear in concert. On Sunday, July 5th, all kids 14 and younger receive a Yankee baseball glove, compliments of Gatorade. Well, it's beginning to rain now. Now it's beginning to rain?
I'll tell you, this is amazing. we were just praying for it after the first 2 innings. Then after the third, trying to keep it away, and here it comes.
We may get a rain delay. It is a distinct possibility. Rich Gedman steps in here against Cecilio Gawante. He's 1 for 2 with a base with an RBI. Ball 1. Gawante turned into a good effort in his last outing against Baltimore. 2 2/3 innings of 1-hit shutout ball and a Yankees 7-3 win. He struck out 4. That's fouled straight back. 1-1. That foul out of play. 1-2. A lot of the fans were prepared. That shot, you really get an idea just how hard the rain is coming down right now. But a lot of fans were prepared as the umbrellas are out in big numbers here at the stadium. Got him swinging. So Gawante strikes out Gedman to retire the side, but not before the Red Sox tie the ball game. 2 runs, 4 base hits. They leave a couple, and we've gone only 3.5 innings, and we've got an improbable score. 11 for New York, 11 for the Red Sox. Well, the umbrellas are out as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning of an 11-11 ball game, and Ed Romero comes into the Red Sox lineup to take over at second base. Marty Barrett thrown out of the ball game by home plate umpire Dave Phillips. So Romero, the utility infielder, played a lot of first base last weekend in that series in Boston. He can move around all the spots in the infield.
He's a good utility infielder. Probably one of the, when he was with Milwaukee, one of the most sought after 5th infielders in baseball.
And here's Pagliarulo taking the first pitch from Bolton, which is a strike, 0-1. Let's see, Pax tonight struck out, and in that big 3rd inning for the Yankees, blooped a single into center field, drove home a run, and came around to score a bit later. And there you can see that rain. It is coming down heavy. They're only in the bottom of the 4th. Rulo has a base hit. Second one of the night for the Yankee third baseman. And the Yankees have the leadoff runner on here in the fourth inning.
0-2 the count. And look at the pitch. Right there. He reaches out, hooks it right back through the middle. 25th base hit in this ball game.
And we get a pinch hitter here for the Yankees. Rick Cerone going to come on to hit. For Mark Salas. Cerone hitting at 206 with a homer, a dozen RBIs. Takes ball one. Salas was 0 for 1. He bounced out, walked, and scored. Down. There'll be no play, though, by Spike Gold. Gives Cerone an infield hit.
Ball took a good hop for it. If it stays down at all, it certainly would have been hit. We're going to see how they rule it. Easy play for Owen, really. If he makes the catch right there, he can go ahead and get Pags at second.
Await the ruling. No decision made yet by the officials. Well, they'll call it a base hit.
Yeah, either way. Either way it could go.
First and second, nobody out. Here's Tolleson. Box shortens up at third. Evans at first. They're looking for Tolly to lay one down. And he takes strike one.
And the Red Sox had the wheel play on right there, where corners come. Owens goes to third base. Second baseman goes to first base. Pags able to get the big lead down there. If it wasn't, we've talked about a lot of times, that's the toughest play in baseball for the runner. But you got to be on your toes right here.
This time they don't pull it the same way. With Boggs holding at third, no fire drill this time, with everybody moving. 1-1.
I like that wheel play as a show-me play. Yeah, just for the show-me, so to speak. And then if it's what you'll see some managers do is call a breaking ball pitch out after they have put the wheel play on for the next pitch. That way, because the runner at second did have the big lead, then all of a sudden you got a chance to pick him off. That's an excellent setup play.
Well, the count right here, 1-1 to Tolleson. Nobody out in the bottom of the fourth. Tolly swings away and fouls it out of play. And the count will go 1-2.
Well, the Red Sox were trying to take the bat out of his hands, and Pinella right there just flip-flopped it. You cannot let the opposition take the bat out of your hands.
With Pinella. Wayne Tolleson had a big base hit in that third inning. Won a lot of big base hits. Came off Roger Clemens. A single to left field. It drove home 2 runs. Tolleson went down to second when Rice bobbled the ball. And that was it for Roger Clemens. Made it a 9-8 ball game. And Tolly smashes this one left field, but Rice was there to put it away. Hit that ball hard.
Well, ironically, as you mentioned earlier, the first time he came up, the Red Sox play him more straight away than any other team. Might be the only club in this league that the ball would have been caught on.
That's right. Usually the left fielder's playing about 20 feet from the line against Tolleson. When he bats left-handed, bats right-handed, they don't play him quite that way. Here's Willie Randolph. All the captain's done tonight is single twice, walk, score 2 runs. Takes a breaking ball in for a strike. They're tied at 11. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. Red Sox led it 9-0. Yankees with 11 runs in the bottom of the third. Red Sox come back to tie it at the top of the fourth. 1-1. And you kind of get the feeling that the gates are far from closed.
Yeah, you kind of get the feeling there was some weak pitching out there tonight. This was not a lot of guys' nights this evening.
Two.
Bolton just turning that sinker over right there on Willie. I mentioned time is not overpowering. Got a real good hook.
Runners leading from first and second. Bodirulo down at second. Cerrone on at first, 1 man out. Boggs, Romero won, knocked down by Evans, and Bodirulo's going to hold at third base. First and third with 2 men out. And very nearly a break for the Yankees. Good play by Evans, just keeping that ball in front of him.
Just to knock it down, not let him get by it. It's going to be a tough one to turn anyway. Boggs made a nice play, and Romero taking a long time to get rid of it, make the low throw. And there Evans just got the glove on it, batted it in front of him.
So first and third with 2 men out. And Gary Ward, who's gone 1 for 3. He singled home 2 in the third inning. And a slow number to short. And the toss over to Romero by Owen. The side retired. Yankees put 2 on with nobody out. Bolton pitches out of it. 2 base hits wasted. 2 men left. Through 4, we're tied at 11 and 11. Well, we're moving to the top of the 5th inning. This ball game is not an official ball game yet. We've got a little bit of rain. We've got an 11-11 score. 26 base hits through the first 4. And Cecilio Galante, the third pitcher of the night for the Yankees. Tommy John went an inning and a third. Gave up 6 hits, 8 runs, walked 2. Rich Morty came on, went 2 and a third. Gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, walked 1, struck out 2, and Galante, after the ball game had been tied at 11 in the 4th inning, came on to get Rich Gedman, strike him out to retire the side.
So far, Cecilio's been the pitching star of the evening.
He's pitched 1 guy.
Yeah.
You're really grasping, aren't you?
Oh. I'll tell you what, you could have won my golf clubs, my car, everything. 9-0 to Clemens out there after the first 2.
Yeah, this is
going to be a tough loss for one of them. For one of the 2 now.
And here's Ellis Burks taking ball 1. Burks in the ball game is 0 for 3. Bounced to third and into a force play, and that strikeout in the 3rd inning. Two and up.
First of all, it's going to be a tough loss on the bullpens as well. You got for one of them. 6 pitchers already.
Not a night for saving your bullpen. 3-0. Cecilio Galante. Rick Cerrone behind the plate, remaining on the ball game, replacing Mark Salas after hitting for Salas in the bottom of the 4th. There's a strike, 3-1.
Boy, both clubs have been on Dave Phillips tonight. Both of them.
Ball 4. Cecilio Galante walks Burks. 1 man out. Nobody out, that is, here in the top of the 5th inning. And Ed Romero will make his first appearance at the plate.
Good hit and run man. Good speed at first base. Most probably be some action of some sort. Whether it be the steal, the hit and run, or the run and hit. Good lead by Burks.
And he's got real good speed down there. Each team's committed an error. 11 runs, 14 hits for the Yankees, 11 runs, 12 hits for the Red Sox. Inside corner, 0-1. Ed Romero came into the ball game when Marty Barrett was tossed out by home plate umpire Dave Phillips. And the throw over, and Burks gets back.
Broke it down, going towards second. It's going to be the point today that you've almost got to make your pitcher go over there. So many pitchers today, especially since the designated hitter, have gotten away from the game itself. And they forget situations. They forget. They don't think. The only thing they're thinking about is there's a high pop-up left side. Pags trying to fight. Finally gets position. Boy, he was fighting that rail there for a second. But a lot of the pitchers have gotten away from it because coming up through college, they didn't hit. As you look at it once again. And what the pitchers who used to play the game, the total aspect of the game as far as hitting and stay with it, coming up throughout their high school, college careers, were into it more in that respect. They really were. They knew situations better. That's why you see veteran pitchers today are much more aware of the situations than your young fellows coming into the league. So that's why it's very important for the catcher to stay on. Catcher today, his job is more important than it's ever been as far as running a ball game.
There's a strike to Wade Boggs. Because he's got to do a lot of the things. In other words, you're saying that the pitcher normally in the past knew how to do it.
Right. And the catcher's got to think for him out there. Not all of them, but most of them. You got to think for them.
0-1 to Boggs, who is still looking for a base hit tonight. He's walked twice, once intentionally, and bounced to short. So he's got that 25-game hitting streak in the line. He's only hitting at 380 now. I tell you, we say it here in New York, watching Don Mattingly play every day. It's just a joy to watch. If you're up in Boston, watch this man play the game every day. Folks up there feel the same way. Runner goes. Burke's got a good jump.
He's going to steal if he gets a decent jump down there, and indeed he did have. Rick never got a real good handle on that one, trying to get it down to second. But he's gone. He got the good jump. He got a good pitch to go on. The curveball down and in. And as I mentioned, Rick just didn't get a good grip on it. Tolly had to come up and meet it.
So the Red Sox have the go-ahead run down in scoring position. We're tied at 11. And they got the #1 hitter in the league at the plate right here. With an opportunity to give the Red Sox the lead. Down low, 2-1. Boggs career high is 28 games. He also had a 20-game hitting streak at one other point. Two and one the count. Right center field. Ward will come over. And there are 2 men away. So Boggs is retired for the second out.
There was a breaking ball coming down and in, and he more or less just tried to put it in play. And that's what caused the pop-up. Most hitters, though, if they try to hit that pitch hard, even including Wade, they're going to hit it hard foul. But right there, he more or less rerouted his swing just a shade, led with his elbow, and kept it in play.
And there are 2 men out. Jim Rice, 2 for 3. Grand slam home run back in the second inning. Gave the Red Sox what appeared at the time to be an insurmountable 9-0 lead. But the Yankees came back with 11 in the bottom of the third. And now we're tied at 11. Ball 1. Two and oh. Strike.
Good slider. Just on the outside corner.
And Brooks down at second. 3 and 1.
That's that number 12 right there in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, Ellis Burks. He got a chance to be a player. I mean, he got a chance to be a good one. He's got enough power. He can hit you before he's done. 30, 35 home runs, driving 100.
There's Tollison with a one-hand scoop from the off-balance throw to retire the side. So the Red Sox threaten on the walk and the stolen base, putting the go-ahead run in scoring position. But Galante comes back to retire the side. Boston leaves one through 4.5. We're tied 11 and 11. Bottom of the 5th inning, Spencer Ross along with the Hawk, Ken Harrelson. We're tied at 11 and 11. And Don Mattingly will lead it off here for the Yankees. Mattingly a perfect 3 for 3 tonight. An infield hit, single to right, scored a run. Single to left, drove home a run. Make it double to left, drove home a run. And his average up to 316. One and one. Tell you, they've really made it comfortable for us up here. Beautiful new chairs.
Thank goodness they got here in time for this one tonight.
Yes, sirree. This game about 2 hours, 45 minutes old, and we're halfway home. 4 for 4 for Don Mattingly. Romero just could not flag it down. So 3 singles and a double from the hitman.
Well, we talked about it at the top. It's showtime. You got the 3 games here with the Red Sox. You get the 3 coming up on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in Toronto. And it's time to stand up and be counted. Mattingly 4 for 4 tonight. And the big man stepping in right now, well, he's done a little number himself this evening.
What a night for Winfield. After popping up in the first inning, his 3-run homer in the third off Clements made it a 9-3 ball game. Red Sox still had the lead. And then he came back to drive home another run in that same third inning, the final run of the inning, the 11th for the Yankees. Actually, the 10th, then he came around to score in a wild pitch.
David hitting at .297 with those 16 homers and 55 ribbies.
You know what impresses me really about all the RBIs for Winfield is the fact that Mattingly and Henderson have been out for as long as they've been out, and he's still putting up the numbers.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Right below us.
That ball was headed towards
The courthouse.
background country right there.
Spun him around.
I love to watch him.
2 balls, 1 strike. And it's 3-1.
Toronto leading Milwaukee 3-zip in the 5th at County Stadium. Oakland defeated Cleveland. They shut them out 5-0 at Municipal Stadium in Cleveland. Tigers hurting Baltimore 7-0. That's in the 8th in Detroit.
No shutout here.
Tigers are playing tough.
They certainly are. And we mentioned Bill Madlock has helped the ball club out. Trowels just had a great year. Morris, Tanana, Terrell's giving some good pitching, on and off, and Hernandez is back there. After being out most of the season. Full count to Winfield. Nobody out, bottom of the 5th. Mattingly on at first base with his 4th base hit. That's a foul ball. So Mattingly will head back to first base. I'll tell you about the only thing we don't need tonight. It is a rain delay. And the rain has subsided. So any kind of a rain delay tonight, this game might not end till 1 in the morning. Runner was going, pitch fouled at the plate. Without a rain delay, this game might not end till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Well, they got a shot at it. What's the Major League record for the 9-inning game? I think it was between the White Sox and Milwaukee a couple of years ago. 4 hours and...
Is that right? Fisk was catching, right?
Oh. Enough said. Let's name that tune.
Smash. Knocked down by Boggs from his knees. A perfect throw to get Winfield. Nice play by Wade Boggs to take the hit away from Winfield. Mattingly moves down to second.
Here is a very fine play by the Red Sox third baseman, who's worked very hard. In fact, some of his teammates will tell you he's worked as hard on his defense as he has on hitting. When he first came up, he was a very, very weak defensive third baseman. And now he is solid.
We're going to get a pinch hitter right here. Ryan Kittle is going to come on and hit for Claudell Washington with the left-hander Tom Bolton on the mound. And Bolton has come on, pitched 2 innings, given up 3 base hits, no runs, walked 1.
Well, guys who get out there who are not overpowering, if they can get the breaking ball over or a changeup, then they have a chance to be successul against the Yankees. The Yankees are a good fastball hitting team.
How about Dwayne Bice?
Oh, man, Dwayne. How about Dave Schmidt the other night?
Yep, another story.
But, of course, Brett Saberhagen put that clinic on down in Kansas City, and probably the second best game that's been pitched against New York was Schmidt the other night in Baltimore. But if you can get the good straight, especially if you can spot the breaking ball, or if you got the good change. Now, Saberhagen was spotting the breaking ball that night, and Schmidt had that good palm ball. He just ate them up. Hard throwers, Yankees usually just get to. If you can't change speeds on them, they're going to get you.
Saberhagen can't throw hard, but he can do a lot of other things.
After he shows you everything else he's got, he does throw hard. Yeah.
So here's Kittle in a pinch hitting role, smacks one to center field, and Ellis Burks is right there for the second out. Kitty stepped to the plate, hitting in .315 with 7 home runs and 21 RBIs, and hit that ball hard. 2 men are out.
So many pages that you could turn in this book. The Yankees, you figure if they can get 11 runs, they got to win.
Yeah, but then
on the other side of the coin, you turn that page. If you're going to give Roger Clemens 9 runs, he's going to win.
I remember we were talking at the beginning of the ballgame when they got 4 of the Red Sox, how much of a negative aspect.
Sure.
And how difficult it is to even think of coming back from 4-0 against Clemens. And here was 9-0. And here's Henry Cotto as Lou Piniella gone to his right-handed side.
And right-hander Bob Stanley starting to heat up for the Red Sox. Might be trying a double-edged sword right here. Go ahead and get the shot at the left-hander to try to have an inning, or if he doesn't, get the right-hander in there so his left-handers can be more effective. Even though the left-handers, some of them are gone now. The E's were out of there. But the ones that are in there are still capable.
Cotto with 4 home runs, 10 RBIs, hitting at .254.
These are Washington and Salas. Out of there.
And there's Mattingly leading from second with 2 men out. Two and 11-11 the score. Bottom of the 5th. Tom Bolton, the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Red Sox. Roger Clemens blew a 9-0 lead with 9 base hits, 8 runs, and 2 1/3 innings, walking 2, striking out 3.
Catcher's interference, I guess.
Not been a good night for Gedman. A bad passed ball. The ball went through his legs early. That'll go as an error against the catcher, Rich Gedman.
Well, let's just watch it right here as he's sitting up right underneath Cotto as he starts to swing. Comes a glove, hits the glove.
So Cotto was on the interference call. Runners at first and second, 2 men out, and Pagliarulo. Mattingly down at second. Strike 1. Pags is 2 for 3. Singled home run in the 11-run 3rd. Singled in the 4th, leading off the 4th. And the Yankees look like they might go back out in front. Back-to-back hits by Pagliarulo and Cerrone. But Bolton retired the next 3. 0-2.
Last time Bolton had Pags 0-2, made a bad pitch on him, and Pags just smoked him right back through the middle.
There's Mattingly down at second. Cotto on at first, and Bolton trying to pitch out of this 2-out, 2-on jam. He left 2 on back in the 4th. He got it. Strike 3 swinging as Pagliarulo goes down. Yankees threaten. No runs, a base hit. There was a Boston error. The Yankees leave 2 and through 5. We're still tied. Yanks 11, Red Sox 11.
Back to our game. Kids, what's the molecular weight of glutamic acid?
147 Daltons.
Wilton had it. In Haydn's Symphony number 11,
B-flat.
with a tiebreaker. The 9X Yellow Pages has always had more information than any competing directory. Why would anyone need another? Kids?
The 9X Yellow Pages. It's the one you've always had. It's the only one you need.
As you can see, the Yankees are playing a grand celebration over the 4th of July weekend on Thursday and Friday nights, July 2nd and 3rd. That'll be the Texas Rangers in town, and after Friday's game, the Wilson Sporting Goods Company presents a spectacular Gucci fireworks show. Now, on Saturday, it'll be that Thornapple Valley Hot Dogs concert series featuring Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine in concert. And then July 5th is Gatorade Yankee Baseball Glove Day. So a big celebration over July 4th weekend here at Yankee Stadium.
Oh, we've had fireworks here tonight. Tied at 11. We're going to the 6th inning. Don Baylor will lead it off for Boston. He's had a perfect night. 2 for 2, an RBI and a walk. Scored 2 runs. And he takes a strike from Cecilio Galante. Third pitcher of the night for the Yankees. Tommy John won an inning and a third, gave up 6 hits, 8 runs. Rich Bordy, 2 and a third, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs. Smashed left field, trouble. And Gary Ward hauls it down. Ward moving over to left field as we start this 6th inning with Henry Cotto, who came out as a pinch hitter for Mike Easler, moving to center.
Gary right there, got a good jump. Made an easy play out of it. Baylor just missed it.
So 1 man out, and Dwight Evans. 3-run home run in the 1st inning, then struck out, then doubled to left, and scored a run. Scored the run that tied this ball game up at 11. We have not had a 1-2-3 inning tonight. Fouled straight back. We've only had 1-2-4 innings, so to speak. 3rd inning, the Red Sox had a lead runner on. They didn't score. And the 2nd inning, the Yankees had the lead runner on. They didn't score. A lot of people have been coming to bat tonight. 1 and 2.
Another pitch right there that Guante wanted. Here's the breaking ball.
And this one fouled away.
Philadelphia beat the Mets 5-2 at Veterans Stadium. Montreal over to St. Louis 5-1 up in Canada.
Go out of play.
Pittsburgh leading the Cubs 3-2 in the 7th at Three Rivers.
Tell me those Expos now 4.5 behind.
I'll tell you, that's beautiful. What a job they have done this year.
Hey, I'll tell you something beautiful tonight. Kansas City, Jim Eisenreich, a sacrifice fly, scores George Brett from 3rd base.
That's a great story. Jimmy Eisenreich, suffering from Tourette syndrome. A lot of people thought he would never play again. General manager Johnny Sherholtz gave him a shot. They finally diagnosed it as Tourette syndrome, gave him the right medication, and knock on wood, he's got it under control now. Will have a productive major league career.
Scary time in that young man's life. 1 and 2. Good breaking ball. Strike 3. Down goes Evans. 2 men around here in the 6th. Second strikeout for Cecilio.
Little sidearm, hard breaking pitch. The slider got it in a good spot. He threw it hard.
2 men out. And here's Benzinger. He's 1 for 3. Singled home 2 runs in the 4th inning that tied the game at 11-11. With 2 men out, Baylor singled. Evans doubled Baylor to 3rd, and then Benzinger came up with a 2-run single off Bordy to tie the game up.
That is not all shabby. 12 at-bats in the major leagues, and you get yourself 6 ribbies.
Fouls this one straight back. Benzinger was hitting .320 at Pawtucket. They called him up last weekend when we were up in Boston. He was just happy to be there.
Oh, sure. Got a great thrill for him. He walked in his first at-bat. This should be a little easy play for Williams. almost slipped and tripped, but he throws over. And for the first time in this ball game, a 1-2-3 inning. They'll go to the bottom of the 6th, tied at 11. And as a reminder, Sports Channel keeps you up to date on the world of New York sports throughout each weeknight with our Sports Channel Tonight updates. And immediately following tonight's game, an expanded edition of New York Sports Nightly. And tonight, Harvey Pack previews the weekend racing card at Belmont. And we'll also take a special look at the Meadowlands Indy. That's Sports Channel Tonight and the extended wrap-up edition of New York Sports Nightly, only on Sports Channel, the official channel of the New York fan. 32-year-old veteran right-hander Bob Stanley now on the hill for the Red Sox. They call him the Steamer. He is the 4th Boston pitcher of the evening, in relief of Tom Bolton, who went 2 1/3, no runs, 3 hits, 1 walk, did not strike out but 1. And Stanley with a good sinker out there.
And the first pitch to Rick Cerrone is strike 1. Stanley with the oil can Boyd out at the beginning of the year. Moved into the starting rotation. Filed a record of 3-8. He started back in '79. He won 16 ball games. A 5. 2-1. Stanley began to develop some problems in '85. The sinker stopped sinking for whatever reason.
Well, at one time he had a good spitter as well, and a good palm ball.
Right here, ball 4 to Cerrone. Well, you lead them to believe every time a sinker stops sinking, it's because the moisture content has been lessened on the Horsehide.
No, that wasn't his case. He did have a real good natural sinker. But Bob's had problems in the past in pitch selection. He's really had some problems in pitch selection. Seemed to have a penchant for making the wrong pitch at the right time for him.
Right here, he's put the lead runner on in the 6th inning. We're in the bottom of the 6th. In a ball game that's now 3 hours old. We're tied at 11-11. The Yankees put all their runs in one frame. Fouled at the plate on the bunt attempt. 11 runs in the 3rd inning, 3 off the all-time team record, 1 off the season record. It was 9-0 Boston when the Yankees scored 11 in the 3rd, and the Red Sox came back with 2 in the 4th, and since then, nobody's put anything on the board. Settle down into a pitcher's duel. One and one. Rick Cerrone down at first base. Came out as a pinch hitter in the 4th inning for Salas at an infield hit. Now the base on balls. Salas had a big base hit in that 11-run 3rd inning. The last batter to face Roger Clemens. He singled to left, drove home 2. Went to second on Jim Rice's error. Down low, 2-1. Foul ball. Redmond played it in foul territory. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And Talley trying to be just a little bit fine on the 2 bunt attempts, trying to put it right on the line. Boggs playing in close, but still, in a situation like that, Stanley does not really bounce around that well out there on the mound. I'm not saying he's a bad fielder, but not real quick. And you can see Tolleson trying to be real fine on the line. So the count now 2-2.
Nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th, tied at 11. Strike 3. Got him in the outside corner, and Tollison is retired.
What's the movement there? High sinker really tailing away.
Willie Randolph will step in. The Yankee co-captain, 2 for 3. Scored a couple of runs, a base on balls. Pass Stanley into center field, base hit. And let me tell you, Bob Stanley's got to be breathing a sigh of relief.
If he can get his breath at all. Boy, there was a P by Willie. And this was dangerous. Dangerous territory. You get to see where that ball traveled just underneath, but it was close.
Right in between his legs. I'll tell you. You improve your vertical leap greatly when the ball comes flying that direction. Here's Gary Ward, ball 1.
Or the tone of your voice.
Ward in the ball game with a base hit that drove home 2 and that 11-run third. It's this one high in deep center field. Burks was playing in. It's way back on the wall, makes the catch, and everybody playing halfway will have to scoot back. Great recovery by Ellis Burks.
Boy, Burks was very deceptive. There was just a high sinker that stayed on the bat. Ward hit it hard, but look at him just trailing over there. That's all. All of a sudden, right at the fence, bangs into it and makes it.
Nice play by the rookie center fielder. And there are 2 men out. Don Mattingly, a perfect 4 for 4 tonight. 3 singles, a double, an RBI. They're tied at 11, bottom of the 6th, ball 1.
See what Donnie's looking for here. He is trying to go along with Stanley. And see him well off the plate.
Center field.
Was he hot? He had a good pitch to hit and popped it up.
And Burks puts it away. Yankees threaten again, put a couple of men on with 1 man out, but they're unable to score as Stanley puts out the fire. 2 men left.
Stranded 10 already.
Way too many, but a lot of runs on the board. They're tied at 11 through 6.
Tied at 11. Check some other scores for you. Detroit shut out Baltimore. Walt Terrell picking up his 6th victory against 7 defeats, 9-0. Oakland shut out Cleveland 5-zip. That was Dave Stewart. He's 9-7. The loser Carlton. He's now 5-6. Canseco, a home run in that ball game. After 8 innings of play, Angels leading the White Sox 3-1. After 5.5, it's Toronto 3, Milwaukee 1. After 6.5 at Kansas City, 5-1. Mariners over the Royals, and after 6.5 at Texas, 1-0 Rangers over the Twins.
All right, here we've got an 11-11 ball game. Spike Owen will lead it off here for the Red Sox. Owen with 3 base hits tonight, a couple of doubles and a single. He scored a run. Eleven runs, 16 hits, 1 error for the Yankees. 11 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors for the Red Sox. 1-1.
In the National League, the Phillies beat the Mets 5-2. The winner, Gross. The loser, Fernandez, Parrish, and Johnson homer. Howard is 15th. Lance is 7th.
2.
Montreal beat St. Louis 5-1. The winner, Sebra. He's 4-8. Joe McGrain, the loser, 5-1. No home runs in that ball game. After 7 at Pittsburgh, 5-2. Pirates leading the Cubs. Vines and Van Slyke have gone deep at Three Rivers.
1-2 the count here to Owen. Silver's that youngster the Rangers had a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Right center field. Could be trouble. Henry Cotto. No trouble.
Easy play for the very graceful Henry Cotto. Only other National League action going on at the time. Atlanta leading San Diego 1-0 after an inning and a half. That's Mailer against Shaw. Later on, Cincinnati at Los Angeles and Houston at San Francisco. Easy play for Mr. Cotto. Boy, does he get a good jump. Not that one required it. As soon as that ball is hit, he is running.
Rich Gedman steps in. Gedman's had a tough night, although he has singled home a run in this ball game. Flied to left and struck out. The pass ball behind the plate. Picked up an error on catcher's interference. Two and 0. Cecilio Galante, third pitcher of the night for the Yankees and the most effective. Pop foul out of play. Cecilio's now retired 7 in a row since giving up a leadoff walk to Ellis Burks in the 5th. Center field. Willie Randolph is there. Everybody converging, and the Yankees second baseman makes the play. So 2 men out. And the center fielder Ellis Burks will step in. Now go back, Galante 2 outings ago against Baltimore here at the stadium, where he went 3 2/3 innings. He had 3 shutout innings, then tired in the 9th inning. And they're giving up 3 runs and 6 base hits. First pitch, slider ball 1. The question has to be just how long can Cecilio go?
Well, he doesn't have his real good fastball tonight, but he is certainly making some good pitches with the breaking ball is right there. And he's also changed speeds several times. And you like to see a guy be able to adjust like that. When he doesn't have his good fastball, then you gotta adjust, create and innovate out there.
And he's done a job. From sidearm this time, 2-1.
Yeah, he'll vary his delivery. Some little crossfire with a fastball and a breaking pitch.
Two and 2. He got it. Strike 3. Galante turns in his second straight 1-2-3 inning. He is now retired 9 in a row, and it's 7th inning stretch time here at the stadium. We're all even at 11-11, and right now let's go to Lee Zeidman in our studios.
Thanks, Spencer. While the Yankees and the Red Sox continue this marathon, the Mets came up short in Philadelphia tonight, losing for the first time this season to the Phillies 5-2. Here's the shot that broke the Mets' back. Sid Fernandez gives up a long one to Lance Parrish, his 7th home run of the year with a man aboard. The 2-run shot made it 5-0, and the Mets never recovered. It was the pitcher Kevin Gross who got the game-winning RBI tonight. He gets the win in a 5-2 victory. We'll have the complete wrap-up of the major leagues immediately following the Yankees game on New York Sports Nightly. Send you back to the Bronx right after this.
Okay, you live in New York. What counts to you?
Style.
A reminder that Sunday at 1:30, the Yankees continue this series with the Red Sox. Catch all the action. That's the Yankees in Boston, Sunday at 1:30, exclusively on Sports Channel.
Well, this ball game now goes to the bottom of the 7th. We're all tied at 11-11, and Dave Winfield, who got the Yankees started, down 9-0 in the third inning with a 3-run home run, leads it off. Winfield 2 for 4, 4 RBIs.
And in case you did not see it, it was a fastball up out over the plate from Roger Clemens that he just absolutely put a charge into the bleachers out there in right center field. As the breaking ball went over from Stanley, and the count evens at 1.
Bob Stanley in the second inning.
To tell you the truth, I didn't think David could catch up with Clemens up there. And he did.
You were talking about that earlier.
Yep, it's hard for guys to get up on top of Clemens as he pulls the string on it, and the count of ball and 2 strikes.
Bob Stanley, who is now a bullpenner once again, with Oil Can Boyd back in the Red Sox rotation. Dennis Boyd will pitch tomorrow night against Tewksbury. Good stop by Boggs. 1 man out. That's 2 nice plays Boggs has made on Winfield tonight, and his last at bat, an even nicer one, throwing the first from his knees. So Winfield retired.
This ball is scalded. And Boggs, as we mentioned, one of the most improved defensive players over the last several seasons in this league. I guess the comparison that you'd have to make as far as improvement goes, certainly not that he is as good a third baseman. He is not. But the way that Greg Nettles kept improving, as Kittle takes a strike and the count 0-1. But Boggs has really improved his defense. Very seldom you'll see a guy make that drastic an improvement over the course of 3 or 4 years.
That's a good analogy, though, because Nettles was pretty good when he started.
Yes, he was.
Better and better and better.
Well, actually, Greg was good when I played with him in Cleveland. He was very, very decent over there, but yet he just kept progressing to higher plateaus.
Kittle fouls this one away. This is Kittle's second at bat tonight. He pinch hit for Claudell Washington in the 5th inning. Hit a solid line drive, but right at center fielder Ellis Burks. We're tied at 11 in the bottom of the 7th. And Kitty fouls this one back out of play. Tell you, after some of that oppressive heat that we had down in Baltimore, it is a little damp tonight. It's nice. It's cooled off quite a bit.
I'm right, it is.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Kittle. Smash, base hit. Solid single for Kittle. Yankees' 17th base hit of the ball game. And once again, they've got the go-ahead run aboard. And Henry Cotto will step in. Cotto came out as a pinch hitter in the 5th inning for Mike Easler and reached on catcher's interference. As he swung at a pitch, his bat collided with Gedman's glove. Pitch inside for a ball. .11 the score, and Tim Stoddard up now in the Yankee bullpen. Pitch is in for a strike. Cecilio Galante has given the Yankees 3 1/3 innings of no-hit baseball, walking 1, striking out 3. Stanley has 1 play to first base to Evans, and there are 2 men out. So Kittle moves down to second. He's in scoring position with 2 men out, and Mike Pagliarulo will step in. Nobody scored a run in this ball game since the Red Sox put 2 on the board in the 4th. That tied it at 11. And they're going to walk Pagliarulo intentionally. Pitch around Pags. And pitch to Cerrone. John McNamara not willing to take a chance on the left-handed hitter.
Well, actually, it's a pretty good pitcher for Cerrone to get at. Although from the Yankee standpoint, you'd certainly rather see Pags trying to do some damage right there, but
so here is Cerrone, who since coming on as a pinch hitter for Salas in the 4th, a single and a walk. Kittle's down at second. Pagliarulo on at first, 2 men out. Bottom of the 7th, 11-11 the score. And the first pitch, ball 1. 45,123 on hand on a misty, damp night to see the opening game of this 3-game set. Tomorrow night it continues. Tewksbury against Boyd, and Sunday afternoon, Rick Rhoden against Al Nipper. Gedman will throw Cerrone out, and the strategy move works for John McNamara, walking Pagliarulo to get to Cerrone, who bounces out. Yankees leave a couple more. That's a dozen. In the ball game, the dirty dozen. And through 7, we're still tied at 11-11. We're going to the 8th inning, an 11-11 ball game. And leading it off for the Red Sox will be Ed Romero, who came out in the 4th inning after Marty Barrett was thrown out of the ball game by home plate umpire Dave Phillips. And Romero 0 for 1. Gawante's first pitch. There's the first base hit of the ball game for the Red Sox off Cecilio Gawante, who had retired 9 in a row. And Boston has put the go-ahead run aboard. Pat Clements, a left-hander, is up, and Lupinella's coming out of the dugout.
There he got the breaking ball up, and Romero just popped him right into center field. And with Boggs coming up there, leadoff man on. And Gawante, once again, has done a very fine job coming out of that pen. I think you'll see probably Clements making his entrance right here.
Well, Lou taking his time before making his decision. And you see Boggs, and on the left side of your screen, that was Jim Rice. Home plate umpire Dave Phillips is going to come out and break this one up. And there's the signal, the left-hander Piniella wants. But what a job by Clements. By Gawante, that is.
Yes, sir.
And he'll hear it from the crowd, too.
As we mentioned, not one of his better nights as far as stuff goes, but certainly one of his better nights as far as pitching. As he did that, he moved the ball around nicely, changed speeds, and did a fine job. But a reminder, on Saturday afternoon, July 4th, the Yankees host the Texas Rangers at 2:20. And after that game, Pepsi presents the Thornapple Valley Hot Dogs Concert Series featuring Gloria Estefan and Miami Sound Machine in concert. Good seats still available. Now, why you go double sponsors there? Pepsi presents the Thornapple Valley Hot Dogs.
Yeah.
But there's Patrick.
Hot dog and a soda. Need that. It's a good combination. Yes, Mr. Clements is coming on. And some pretty good numbers. And we were talking earlier, the middle bullpen for the Yankees. Clements, Stott, Gawante, they have most certainly done their job. And once again, a great job by Galante. 3 1/3 innings, 1 hit, walks 1, strikes out 3, no runs, but responsible for the runner aboard.
Well, look at the job Rich Purdy has done. He didn't have a good night this evening. In fact, it's the worst stuff we've seen him have, but he's done an outstanding job. I'll tell you, the Yankees bullpen is deep and has balance out there, and it's given Lou an opportunity to make some moves that a lot of guys don't have that ability to make. And you got the 2 left-handers, then you got the 3 right-handers out there.
And you still got Stoddard out there, and then Clemens could turn out to be just a 1-batter pitcher right here.
Well, Timmy's ready. He was throwing a little bit last inning as well. Just, of course, Lou is very good at that. He is very good at anticipating situations, and you never see him get caught short like you see so many guys. I mean, it's just amazing how many managers in this league get caught short and not giving their relievers time enough to get loose. All of a sudden, it's almost like, well, boom, there's a base hit. Hey, I better get somebody up. By that time, you don't give them a chance to get ready.
And it's amazing when you watch Lou, and, you know, patting him in the back. And that's what I'm doing. I know you're doing it also. In his second year, he's a good chess player.
Oh, he's outstanding. I don't think there's any question about it. I don't think there's any question about it. I've seen a lot of them. I've played for a lot of them. I've seen a lot of them over the years.
Well, here is Wade Boggs. Has a 25-game hitting streak on the line. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He has walked twice. But most importantly, he's in an 11-11 ball game as we play the 8th inning. And Clemens' first pitch is bounced foul. "13 hits for the Red Sox. Boggs does not have a 1. 17 for the Yankees. Mattingly at first base with 4. The 1-1. Ball, 2 strikes to Wade Boggs.
That was a nice pitch. That's one thing that's been impressive about Clemens. He has been well within himself since returning from Columbus. Prior to going down, he was behind in the count. But right now, he's out there, and looked like before he was trying to overthrow a little bit, maybe trying to impress some people. Right now, he's just within himself. He really pitched well.
And getting ahead of the batters on a consistent basis. 1-2 to Boggs. Tolleson, there's 1, double play. Wayne Tolleson with a 6.63 DP, and there are 2 men away.
Hey, that play right there was not as easy as it looked. Tolly started to break, now had to readjust, and you see right there, coming across with the one hand on the short hop. I'll say one thing, it's a good thing the ball took a true bounce.
And 2 men are out. So Jim Rice steps in now. Rice with that grand slam home run in the second inning hours ago, which at that point gave the Red Sox a 9-0 lead. And the Yankees came back with 11 in the bottom of the 3rd. And we're tied at 11-11.
Well, I thought that was Cooperstown time when he hit that grand salami. Wrap it up, send it on up there. The Yankees just kept battling. 11 runs in the 3rd inning.
Sounded like he broke his bat, and a nice play by Clemens to throw out Jim Rice, and a good job by Pat Clements, who comes on with a runner aboard and nobody out on the top of the 8th. Gets the double play from Boggs and gets Rice. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. We're still tied, 11-11.
A video celebration of the New York Yankees. That's what critics are saying about the new video cassette release of the New York Yankees, the movie. Packed tight with almost 2 hours of heroes and thrills from 8 decades of Yankee greatness. So to obtain your video cassette copy, just send a check or money order for $29.95 plus $5 for postage and handling to New York Yankees, the movie. Yankee Stadium, Bronx, New York, 10451. Or call toll-free 1-800-228-2323. 228-Mattingly.
Interesting way of looking at phone numbers. It's a good way to remember them, though. John McNamara. His team blew a 9-0 lead, but they're still in it. We're tied at 11-11. And here is Wayne Tolleson to lead it off. Tolle had a big base hit in that 11-run third inning for the Yankees. Drove home 2, made it a 9-8 ball game. He is 1 for 4, struck out twice, fly to left. Outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Bob Stanley pitching into his third inning. He's given up a couple of hits, no runs.
Tolle's had a tough night tonight on the attempted bunts, the sacrifice, and nor the base hit.
Back in the 4th inning, Yankees had runners at first and second, nobody out, and he could not lay one down. Outside for a ball, 2-2. Again in the 6th inning, with a runner on first, he failed to lay one down. Full count now to Tolleson. Takes up high, ball 4.
And the Red Sox have double-barrel action. Zambito, and it looks like Schiraldi loosening up down in their pen. And a big walk. What could be a big walk by Tolleson.
And here is Willie Randolph, the Yankee co-captain. Is 3 for 4. He scored a couple of runs. And a base on balls, and his number now up to 320.
And the Yankees have the horse up out there, Dave Righetti.
Gary Ward on deck. Tolleson at first. Randolph at the plate. Bottom of the 8th inning. Tied at 11.
Oh, nice play by White Evans, as he and Tolleson got tangled up a little bit. And we'll see what Luigi wants to do in this situation. The bunt, or with Willie, the way he's swinging the bat. What would you do?
I think you just pointed out the way he's swinging the bat.
I wouldn't put the bunt on. I'd try to hit and run for it, right, or run and hit.
Willie has just been hot. But he shortened up the bunt. He has 14 hits in his last 32 at bats. It's way over 400. He's 3 for 4 tonight. But you've got Ward and Mattingly to follow.
You'd have Ward and Winfield.
Gotcha. Tuna.
And you got the corners coming in. Very close. Boggs, Evans at first. And the count 2-0. He's got to get a strike to hit. Boom. Flip-flop it. I love the bunt play, too.
Let's see if the change is put on right here. Stanley's behind 2-0. Is he going to come with a fastball? Is Randolph going to be turned loose? Ball 3, 3-0.
Well, if he's going to do that, it's academic. All 4 bases, he's going down to first.
Ferraro flashing signs, but the old take going to be on right here. 3-0. 3 balls, 1 strike. The score is 11-11 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tollison on first, a leadoff walk. Willie Randolph at the plate. The count is 3-1. Bob Stanley, the 4th Red Sox pitcher of the night, pitching into his 3rd inning.